What is up, everyone? Welcome to Nickel City Mafia. Yes, it's finally here. Draft night 2025, round one. Man, I'm so tired of the mock drafts, guys. I got to tell you, I'm pretty much done with those for about 2 weeks now. Jake and Cody, this is going to be a fun night. We're going to be live the whole time of round one. What surprises are we going to see? There's always going to be somebody slipping down the board further than people think. Who's your team going to take? Who the Buffalo Bills? I mean, we're Buffalo Bills. We got Cody over here from the Texans. All throughout the night, we'll have other people joining us as well. We got people in our chat from other teams. Going to be a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to get into this and see finally who these players are going to be. I'm looking over here at the screen watching where they are. Looks like Roger Goodell's up there kind of introducing things. Who's that over there, Jake?
That's a rare appearance from our doctor, Blake Podger.
Oh, all right.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, try to get the money back. Try to get that.
I'm going to get him on. I'm going to get him on tonight. It's going to happen. We're going to be live reactions.
Cody, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing tonight, man?
We're doing fine. We're trying to load up with caffeine right now to carry us through for the rest of it. So we're cracking out the Celsius right now, trying to get the caffeine overload to carry us through. And then there we go. And I don't expect too much. We've got some news here lately that the Cleveland Browns are very tempted to move out of that number 2 pick. I don't think they will. I think our first 4 picks are pretty much chalk, but I think fireworks are going to start at 5. So I'm ready for tonight, like you said. I am today was the last day where I was just like, I'm done with all the pre-draft stuff. Like, I'm done absorbing content. I'm done looking at players. I'm just going to sit back and chill out. I'm finally over it. Now it's just time to sit back and watch how it all unfolds.
Love it. Love it. Got Weston out there. Let's get ready to rumble. We got Ben. We got my dad's out there. Hey, Dad. We got TJ Gaines. And this is a good question. Yeah. I want to ask the chat right now because I'm watching on NFL Plus. I don't know what you guys are watching on Jake. Typically, the guys here, some of the guys will have information before you'll see it on NFL Plus. So I'd like to know in the channel here, would you rather us wait until it's officially announced on NFL Plus, or would you, if we get the information right away, are you okay with us sharing that? I don't want to ruin anyone's experience, but I've been asked that question a few times, so I'm throwing it out there to the rest of you to kind of see your thoughts on that. Jake, how you doing, my friend?
I'm fired up, Mike. I was just going to say, so it's funny you ask, what channel are we watching? Because I have 14 screens down here, and I wish I can't even do it justice. Like, it's all behind me, to the left of me. I have this on webcam, so I can't really even move it because it's plugged in. But just trust me when I say this. So I have NFL Network to the left of me. I have ESPN on the TV back there. But the screens, if I'm preferring a network, it's NFL Network. I loved it. Daniel Jeremiah, I think he's fantastic. So he's typically the guy that I follow for a lot of the mock drafts and everything too. So I have NFL Network on. That's like my main station.
Yeah. So I'm with you there, TJ. That's what we'll use. But again, we'll get the information quicker. I guarantee you. So again, I don't want to ruin your experience. So let us know what you guys would prefer. Thanks for joining us, TJ. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
So, guys, talk to me. I mean, we got some time. I think what we were kind of talking pre-show here is like, when do they officially start? And some were saying maybe 8:15, 8:20 before that first pick is on the board. Let's see here. Sam says, like, it's the draft tonight. How can you ruin it? How can you ruin it? How can I ruin it? I'll tell you, the only way it could be ruined is if Brandon Beane takes somebody we don't need, or he trades back with the Kansas City Chiefs, or I'll be a little bummed if he trades out of the first round like he did last year. But I got to say, there was, I don't know if you saw the post in the Discord, Jake, there's been talk that Beane's already contacted Pittsburgh, trying to maybe see if they're open to, trade back with Bills, and Bills move up to 21. Not sure that's going to happen, but I think every GM at this point is probably making calls, right? At least you got to fish a little bit, see who's open for some opportunities, right?
Without a doubt, yeah. And what that tells me, by the way, moving up to 21, you're moving ahead of the LA Chargers, who have Jim Harbaugh as their head coach, Mike. And where did Jim Harbaugh used to coach at? Michigan, right? So there's a guy on the board who I love. That is my draft crush, who I have just been salivating over, who I would love the Buffalo Bills to trade up and get, and that's Kenneth Grant. Yes. So to me, it excites me a little bit. It all could just be smoke, but at the end of the day, if they make that move, you might see me jump off a table tonight.
But I see we got a pool table behind you.
We got a pool table.
It's
slate, though. That might hurt a little bit. I don't know.
But you said jump off the table. You didn't say jump through. So we can jump off.
Good point.
Yes, Sam, no tight ends. This is just your boss, right? Is this your boss?
That's Sammy V. Yep, that's
Sammy
right.
V.
Yeah, shout out to Sammy V. Yep.
And then Weston's like, come on, tight ends and quarterbacks. So
here's a question. Just real quick for you guys.
Yeah.
So I've seen Jalen Milroe mocked in a lot of first-round drafts now. I've seen the Jackson Dart mock drafts as well. Do you think there will be over 3 quarterbacks selected in the first round?
I go no.
Okay.
I'm gonna go no as well.
Got it.
I'm gonna go no as well. Maybe 2. But I guess a bigger question, Jake, is where's Shedeur Sanders going to go? Is he going to stay in the first round? Or is he going to
my gut has been telling me that it's going to be New Orleans, but now the more and more I see, I mean, Vegas odds moved him from like 8.5 to like 21.5 on where he's going to go, where the line is set at. So it's kind of making me think a little bit. Like, obviously, Vegas seems to know everything. So, I mean, Pittsburgh's been rumored to be the team. And if that's the case, it's hard to see another guy going after that at the quarterback position.
It'll be a trade back in to the end of the first round if we see another quarterback go. There is also the flip that's happened today, at least on betting markets, of Jackson Dart before Shedeur Sanders is the favorite to be the second quarterback off the board. So we'll see if that one happens as well. But yeah, by all accounts, New Orleans, unless they can trade back probably into the 20s, is not taking a QB at 9. Like they've said, absolutely no chance there.
Right.
I think I saw early on, was it the Giants that were being mocked? Shedeur was going to the Giants early on?
Very early in the process.
But now I haven't seen that in a long time. So, but interesting here. Let's see.
Yeah, it's crazy. In one of the later mock drafts that I just saw, I don't know if it was Schrager's or Rich Eisen or someone, but it had the Giants basically trading back into the first round at pick 18 and then taking Jackson Dart. So it sounds like there is some interest in potentially going with a quarterback just from murmurs or whatever you want to call it in the Giants organization. So kind of curious to see what they end up doing if they even trade out a pick 3 there and move back even. Yeah, I don't know.
Does it look like Tennessee's on the clock, right?
Yep. We are 6 minutes left on the clock, and they will take it, even though they know it's Cam Ward, they'll take it all the way down to 2 minutes just for all of that advertising and FaceTime for all the people who are just tuning in.
I gotta say, Jake, I'm still like, I was asking Cody this question. If the Giants or somebody like called you right now and said, man, they're already talking to someone, it's probably Cam Ward, but I'm just saying, I call you, Jake, and I'm like, man, we want Cam. We'll give you our first. Let's say it was the Giants, so you go to 3. We'll give you a first rounder next year. We'll give you a second rounder this year. I mean, you got to think about that because, unless this is a generational quarterback, and I would love your opinion, Jake. Is he that type of guy? Cody has some numbers, but let me ask you that first.
Maybe generational for them. I mean, Ben brought up Jake Locker. It has been a string of quarterbacks in the first round that the Titans have tried and failed with, and they haven't hit on someone really since Steve Air McNair. And it's funny because you look at the measurables, and Cam Ward is literally the exact same size as Steve Air McNair, so and actually kind of a similar type of player. When you look at what he does, he's a timing passer, but he's also an improviser at the same time, if that makes sense. When he bails out of the pocket, he's electric. He can make plays happen. But when he's in the pocket, he's great. Like I said, he's a timing passer, and accuracy, arm strength at times, really, really impressive to me. And honestly, he looks a lot like number 9 there in Tennessee. Rest in peace, Steve Air McNair.
Yeah. I asked Cody before the show, like, how many quarterbacks were drafted first overall in the last 10 years? Oh, pick is in here. So let's see here who's going to be coming up. And I'm sure there's going to be no surprise. But Cody, how many quarterbacks were drafted number 1 in the last 10 years?
That was our 8 quarterbacks in the last 10 years, I believe.
Okay.
Wow.
And,
at number 1 overall.
Yeah. And there were no, we talked about each of them. There were no bust. There's still some that are on the fence, right?
Bryce Young, Caleb Williams of the last 2 years.
Right. Got to give him a couple years. So I guess it's been a pretty sure thing. I mean, you can Baker Mayfield, it took him a few teams. Sam Darnold wasn't taken first overall, but he was taken in the first round.
Jared Goff was our other one.
Goff was the other. That's right. That's right. Started with the Rams. I thought he kind of got screwed there. I thought he did really well. He went to a Super Bowl with the Rams, and they ship him off to Detroit, which he's done fantastic.
I'm looking to see right now, guys, for the hell of it, who the last Miami quarterback was that was drafted in the first round, because my gut's telling me it's Jim Kelly. So I'm just looking.
You're right.
As good as the program was.
Oh my God, it did happen. Browns are trading the number 2 overall pick. Jags are coming up to 2 to take Travis Hunter.
Wait. But they haven't announced the first pick.
No, this is the Browns. They just traded
the Browns
out.
have already made that announcement. They are trading down?
They're trading down to 5 with Jacksonville. Jacksonville's coming up to see Travis Hunter.
Gotta be, right? Yeah.
There we go.
Man.
I'm not listening. I can't have sound, otherwise you'll hear it. So I see it.
Can you guys hear my sound by chance?
No.
I've got nothing.
Okay,
no.
Good.
Is it Cam Ward? Looks like it's Cam Ward. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Cam Ward. There we go. So.
And by the way, that last quarterback taken in the first round out of the University of Miami, I see you, TJ. No, I'm talking University of Miami, was Jim Kelly, indeed. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
Back in 83. Isn't that wild? So Cam is the first one in 32 years out of the University of Miami to be taken in the first round. Crazy. Kind of cool.
Well, guys, why don't you talk a little bit about him? I mean, obviously he played 3 years college football, 2 for Washington, I believe. And could be wrong there. And then the last one there, Washington State. And then the last one with the University of Miami. So you guys love him? Go ahead. Let me give you some combine stats. We didn't really participate in the combine. That still irks me. I get frustrated with people that don't really do that. He didn't even, no workout, no choice. And then even on the pro day, nothing. So look, he's just saying, man, I'm good. He sort of took the Marvin Harrison Jr. approach last year. Didn't partake in anything, but and still was taken very high. So Cam Ward, guys.
I'm still a little bit blown away by this trade.
It is a crazy trade. Yeah. So what were the final? So they traded the 2nd overall pick to the Jags for obviously the 5th overall, and then there's got to be some more to that.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
So the Browns are trading the number 2, a 4th round pick, and a 6th round pick, number 104 and 200. The Jags are trading number 5, a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick, and their 26th first round pick to the Browns.
Oh wow. That's something. Wow. Well, when you think about it, Liam Cohen, offensive-minded guy, he loves players that are going to be explosive and guys that'll bring in the revenue, right? You already knew right off the bat he was going to be either really lame or he was going to be someone that's going to make a splash move, and this was the splash move. People were rumoring Ashton Genty to be the guy that the Jaguars were going to target at pick 5 there, but to me, it's got to be Travis Hunter, right?
Yeah,
it's already confirmed.
Wow.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, they're showing that right now. I have a question for you, Jake. We're looking at I'm showing the ESPN college stats.
Yeah.
UIW, who's this? Who's these 2 other years, 2020 and 2021?
That's a junior college.
Okay.
Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
Got it.
Incarnate Word. Where are they located, Cody?
Oh,
I've seen them around. I've seen them. There's another player that went there, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. I got to look that up.
San Antonio.
I was going to say, I thought it was Texas.
Or no, Houston, Texas. Oh, my gosh. They're in my backyard.
Okay.
They're in my backyard. I didn't even know.
How about that? Kind of cool, man.
Well, you can see, look at his stats here in 2024. 4,300, over 4,300 passing yards. Look at his rating, 172.2, only threw 7 picks. It was sacked 22 times. I mean, look at the sack numbers. Whoever's been on O-line for him, not doing a good job. 22 sacks last year. But my goodness, guys, this is a great statistics that he's been putting up over the last, Hell, even in junior college, look at that. He put up 4,600 yards
Crazy
one year.
numbers. Yeah.
So good stuff there.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is something. This is really something. I like Cam Ward, though, a lot. I think out of the quarterbacks that were going to be a given, he was clear-cut the number one guy. There was never a question whatsoever. So, Mike, I loved your theory. The Titans are blowing smoke. They're going to take Abdul Carter. They want to take a guy like Javon Curse, run it back to 99. But when you think about it, they've swung and missed so many times in the first round, and it's either, hey, let's do it again, or when you look at who their coach is too, Brian Callahan, offensive-minded guy, he's going to try to go back to what his dad did back in 2002 with Rich Gannon, with Cam Ward.
Yeah, I was looking for some drama early on. We got it, but look at what just happened in the deal for the second round pick. I think they could have got a massive haul if they traded down some. And but hey, if they think that's their guy, got to go with it. Just like Bean did with Josh Allen. A lot of people didn't want Josh. Went with his gut. That was a dude.
Yeah.
So look how that worked out.
If I'm a Titans fan, I'm feeling really comfortable with this. I mean, there was never a question. So you got to reignite something there, and they seem to be starting over. So it's funny, they signed Tyler Lockett today too. So they gave him an old wily vet to throw the ball to, who can still play, by the way.
Ben wants to know what he has to trade to get Jake on my team tomorrow.
Ben is leaving for his bachelor party tomorrow, so he has put it out there. He tried to get me to go with him. Problem is, Mike, as you know, it's not only my niece's birthday tomorrow, but we got the NFL draft in full swing. But it's also my anniversary on Monday. Doing a little anniversary dinner on Saturday night. Shout out to my wife who's not here. She's in Toronto tonight on a little business trip. Architect, super smart, big brain, not me, but shout out to her. Drafted Taron Johnson while we're at the altar. I'll still never forgive her. Crazy.
I do like Cam Ward, though, as we're still kind of sitting, waiting for Jack's pick. A pick is in on the board officially, but do like Cam Ward. He's got enough mobility around in the back of the pocket to escape and kind of create. Now, it does get him in trouble sometimes because he will force some stuff that's really not there, and it leads to some fumbles, leads to some turnovers that, you typically wouldn't want to see out of a typical first-round pick. But I like the mobility on it. He's a little bit undervalued, I think, as a runner. He's kind of got a little bit of like Kyler Murray-esque feel to him in the pocket back there when he's scrambling around and doing the scramble drill. Can definitely get downfield moving as well. Can rip it over the middle of the field. But like I said, sometimes just the decision-making and trying to force too many hero ball throws is sometimes there for him. So if you can clean that up, I definitely think he can turn into – you never know with the quarterback, but we just went back and looked at the first-round picks. At some point, they typically get to all right, and hopefully for the Titans, not for my division as the Texans fan, but, hopefully he just flames out and they're drafting another quarterback again in 2 years. But for their organization, hopefully they can make it work there.
I was going to say your hatred for the Titans has to be somewhat high, being that they used to be the Houston Oilers, Cody. So I don't know if there's any of that going on, but yeah.
Luckily it was before I became a fan that all of that kind of happened. We do have a little bit of animosity though, because Amy Adams Strunk is still kind of like she's a little bit butthurt about it still, kind of. The Tennessee Titans actually sued the University of Houston for the University of Houston basketball team for wearing a powder blue uniform and saying that they owned the color of powder blue and sent them a cease and desist letter to stop doing that. So you don't own a color of a city. So
that's wild. Yeah.
And then whenever they decide to pull out the old Oilers uniforms, it's always against the Texans. Like there's a very spiteful relationship there. Luckily I didn't, I don't have full animosity because I wasn't a fan back until like 2018 or so. So I don't have all that built up, but there still is definitely some, I hope you kind of suck forever in there.
So,
and by the way, I misspoke on Incarnate Ward. They are actually an FCS school. I had heard of them before, and there was another player that I can't think of that went to school there, but they play in the Southland Conference. I had to look this up. Cam Ward actually won the Jerry Rice Award there, which is basically the top freshman in FCS back in 2020. So I learned something today. How about that?
Hey guys, who's up there announcing the pick for the Jacks? Looks like
that is Eric Armstead.
Okay,
looking good up there.
Yeah,
he's a stud. Crazy. We got 2 back-to-back AFC South picks here, Code.
We do, yeah. After this trade up, good to see those teams in the division making picks at the top of the draft.
Oh, yeah.
So,
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Aaron joining us probably live from a bar, I would imagine. Was drinking with Aaron today for quite some time. Mike, we did our annual Good Friday celebration, but we pushed it a week back, basically. So we went to Barbill today. I ate 27 wings, which is pretty impressive.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I put it down pretty good, which probably saved me because I didn't drink as much as I probably normally would. But yeah, great day today. We went bar hopping. Ben, Sam, Aaron. Aaron's probably still out getting after it a little bit. So shout out to him. Great to see you guys. Thanks for joining tonight.
Yeah. Sam V saying, Mike, come into town on May 10th. What's going on May 10th?
That is Ben's stag that we're hosting at the office. So,
at the office. Oh boy.
Right by the stadium.
Yep. All right. So taken with the number 2 pick overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Hunter. Talk about this dude, because he is if he pans out, Duke and wide receiver, cornerback. First of all, where do you think they're going to use him? And do you think they're going to use him both places full time or just situational type thing?
Well, you start.
I think they're going to give him every opportunity to play both ways. You don't make this type of a trade if you don't think he's that generational talent that you believe you're at least going to give him the opportunity to play both ways. I have concerns only on the durability side of it, like conditioning wise. He's already shown at the collegiate level that he can do it. Wherever you're playing more plays, like he was playing consistently about 110 snaps a game. That's typically what you're going to see at 100% snap rate in the NFL if you're playing both sides of the football. So I don't think that's an issue. There might be a little bit of a durability concern once you're playing 17 games, and the Jags aren't ever going to go to the playoffs. But if you're ever playing deep into a playoff run as well, it's a much longer season than you would play at college. But there's people say, there's a lot of people who believe that he's the best wide receiver and the best cornerback in this draft. If you put him individually on both sides of the ball, just as a standalone, and you're able to put both of these together, you also put him on an offense now that then has BTJ and Travis Hunter on this team with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. And then you bring in Liam Cohen, who's brought along really good offenses here over the past 2 years in different situations. I think I would say guaranteed he's playing on offense almost 100% of the time, and then they'll see how much they can put him in a corner as well, because they do have a gaping hole there as well that they could easily use him to play at least 100% of snaps. I don't think he does. I think it's more moonlighting on DB, but they're going to give him every opportunity to play as much as he can, I believe.
I agree with that, Code. When you look at their cornerbacks right now, they did draft Jerrion Jones last year in the 3rd round, who I know they're slightly high on. But yeah, if you look at their roster, they might have more of a need at the receiver position just because Gabe Davis coming off an ACL injury. They have Brian Thomas Jr., who is unbelievable. But outside of that, they did sign Diami Brown to an overpaid $10 million contract, but a 300-yard receiver, kind of unproven. Little bit of potential there, obviously, but kind of a lot of what ifs, too, at the same time. Parker Washington, who I really like, too. But to me, yeah, it makes more sense to probably utilize him at the receiver position more so than sprinkle him in on defense. Maybe he does play both ways 100% of the time. That would be wild to see because it really hasn't happened since the 1950s if you really look at it. So, yeah, it's exciting. I think it's a splash move for the Jags. It's a franchise that has been rumored to be going overseas to London multiple times, and I think Shad Khan's sick and tired of it. And he's like, hey, let's do something special here. Let's get this Jaguars fan base excited again. They drafted Trevor Lawrence a few years ago. Travis Etienne, probably a sigh of relief for him because there was rumors about Ashton Genty. They may still take a running back even so, but good move by the Jags, man. This is a great pick. I know they sold the house on this, but I think it's worth it.
It was a massive jump in production from 23 to 2024. What do you guys attribute that to? Oh, I lost you, Cody. You're unmute, sir. Just unmute, sir.
Is that a games played thing in 2023? I'm thinking you missed a little bit of time back in that season.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's right.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, they're not showing me that on this particular ESPN.
He's got a great story too, Mike. He goes to Jackson State where he's the #1 recruit in the nation. And of course, Deion Sanders, he's able to pull him in, right? But it's kind of cool, like for the HBCUs to be able to say, hey, we got this guy. Like it attracted more of those higher recruits to go to those smaller schools, kind of built up their programs. Now you got former NFL players as head coaches there, Eddie George being one of them at Tennessee State and some other guys too. So, you love seeing stuff like that. I think it gave their program a spotlight on their program, which is great. And then obviously Colorado, who, they haven't been relevant really since the 90s. So kind of cool to see. Happy for Travis Hunter, a class act kid. Obviously they brought up the girlfriend throughout the draft process and all the stuff that she was dealing, antics and, not celebrating him enough and whatever. I love Travis Hunter, man. I'm happy for the Jags.
Trey saying the Jags got fleeced. I get it because they have BTJ.
A lot to give up, Trey, but it could be worth it. I mean, you're in rare territory here. Typically, I'd say like, hey, cornerback, receiver, like Charles Woodson, right? But it's kind of the opposite, right? You got a guy that can is really a receiver first, I think, and then a corner second.
And they did announce him as a wide receiver first. They announced him as wide receiver cornerback. So it was wide receiver first. Apparently they had the option to do anything in the draft room. They had a cornerback, wide receiver. They had everything for the boards. So Jacksonville chose to put him as wide receiver cornerback.
So that speaks volumes too to me.
And Abdul Carter is officially in.
All right. Abdul Carter is going to be pick number 3 for the New York Giants. Wow. Well, Jake, so you were wrong on this one. I know you were, for some reason, you kept saying you didn't think the Giants needed them. You were thinking they were going to go where?
I thought Mason Graham actually made more sense, and I'm kind of in the minority on this. But, I mean, Abdul Carter is one of the best players available in this class. Don't get it twisted. I think it's a great pick for them, but I'm curious to see if they're able to get him on the field enough because you got Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns, who you just traded for. So, this is a guy that really needs to be on the field 100% of the time. So how are they going to get him on the field for more snaps than probably what's projected right now? But when you think about the Giants' more recent Super Bowls, you go back to 2007. They have Strahan, Osi Umenyiora, and Justin Tuck, who put up great numbers. They were able to rotate those guys in and keep them fresh. And then same thing in 2011. You got Jason Pierre-Paul, who had like 16 and a half sacks in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. You still have Osi Umenyiora, who had like 9 sacks, Justin Tuck, who had a great year. So maybe they're trying to follow that formula a little bit more, build on that defense, get those really good edge rushers, and make a difference that way. As you look on the interior, Dexter Lawrence, top 5 defensive tackle in football / nose tackle, whatever you want to call him. You got Nunez Roches, who's a pretty good player too. So that defensive front is nasty nonetheless. Crazy.
And to potentially fix that problem, if they do trade back into the back of the first for a Jackson Dart type, which has kind of been pretty heavily rumored for them, there's also been a lot of trade talks that they're going to include Kayvon Thibodeau in that package to whatever team they are trading up for, if they will actually put him in an evaluation of that trade up. So if you want to get him 100% on the field, you could, if the team will accept it that they trade up with, you could see Kayvon Thibodeau move out and then he'd be playing 100% of the time.
Makes sense. His production dropped a little bit last year. He had like 5.5 sacks and only played 12 games. But maybe there's some concern there. Like maybe he's not the same guy because he had a really good 2023 season. And then last year, not so much, right? So this is crazy. They're showing Penn State's linebacker tradition, basically the guys that wear number 11. LeVar Arrington, Navarro Bowman, Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter. Absolutely wild. Great list of names.
Insane.
Yeah.
No surprise. No surprise to me. This guy's gonna be special. I really believe that. By the way, if you're here hanging out with us, take a second and just smash that like button for us. And I don't think anyone's new, but if you are new, drop the nickel on that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. Help support the channel.
For sure.
I really wish, I have a beautiful little screen over here. I wish I could share it. It's basically the NFL Plus. I wish they wouldn't hit you with copyrights. I don't even have to put the sound on, but I still think they would hit me streaming the video over here.
Yeah.
They probably would. They got us on a video where I had stuff in the background. Like, remember? Like Josh Allen or something. Crazy.
That was crazy. Stefan, thanks for joining us, buddy. I gave Steph a call. I said, dude, I haven't heard from you in a while. You got to join us tonight. He says, I'll be there. So appreciate it.
I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could maybe like set up the background a little bit differently, put one of those glass cases that I've got back in there and try to reflect the TV screen off of that. But there
you go. Yeah,
maybe we'll see if we can get that for night 2.
All right, I'm gonna send some folks that are saying to get the invite, but I'm gonna send Sean the invite real quick. Let's see here. There we go. I'm sure Brett's got his. All right. By the way, for those of you in our Discord, if you want to jump on, I did put the link in the NFL 2025 draft channel. Want to join, jump on, please do. We can support up to 10 people on this stream, so we'd love to have you. And again, become a member of the Discord. It's free, absolutely free, and we talk sports pretty much 7 days a week, 24 hours a day almost for some people.
I don't know what Sam's talking about here, Cody. He says you're talking crazy. You know what I told Sam today? I said I don't know if you caught me saying this, but I said your voice was like a combination of Fergie and Jesus. So Sean Lee was a dog, Aaron. What a great name. Great pull. Love that. Career ended too short just due to injuries, but he was so good. Aaron got the play up against Sean Lee personally when he was with the University of Buffalo.
And while the broadcast is in commercial, we do have our number 4 overall pick, and the Patriots are selecting offensive tackle or offensive guard, depending upon where you put him. Will Campbell is going to the Patriots.
Will Campbell. All right. Switch back over here.
You know, the big thing with him is that his arms are a little bit shorter, so people are concerned whether he could play the tackle position. But I think, you know, playing at the SEC level and just what he was able to do, high IQ guy, really athletic, I think he'll be just fine at the tackle position. People are thinking he's going to kick inside. To me, the Patriots have a more glaring need at the tackle position, so it would make more sense, in my opinion, to take him at tackle. Aaron, actually, who's in the chat here, is a Pats fan, so I'd be curious to hear his take. I think that was kind of his choice all along, but classic Braves pick here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they've throughout this process, they said he said he talked to them more than like anybody else. He said he had almost like 100 hours plus of like log time with the Patriots throughout all of the process long. By all accounts, a true like Vrabel guy who just absolutely loves football, does nothing else through and through. So I think the fit completely makes sense. We will see, I guess, at the NFL level if he's able to play out at tackle. I think they'll try him out there first. I know, you know, the old school NFL heads who have their numbers, he doesn't fit that arm length number that you want to see. But by everybody that I've listened to, if you just listen back, if you just watch the tape back, you're playing in the SEC, you're playing against NFL level competition, and he was fine with that arm length all the way through. We'll see if it translates. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to fail at tackle, and then if he can't, then you kick him into guard. And I think he's going to be all class there too.
Yeah, I agree. I like what Aaron says here, the Patriot way, but he was hoping they would get some equity for the O-line. Cody, did you see the rumor? It was, I guess, a close Eagles source had suggested that they'd be open to trading A.J. Brown and moving up, essentially. If Abdul Carter was available at 4 and trading with New England, it would be A.J. Brown and the 32nd overall pick for that 4th overall pick, which is crazy because, I mean, A.J. Brown, 27 years old, top 5 receiver in football, and then you're also trading your first-round pick with that. But I guess they, edge is a glaring need for the Eagles, so it would make sense to do. But obviously, here we are with the Giants going ahead and taking them. But Sean, I want to get your take on the Abdul Carter pick right before we get into the Will Campbell stuff. I see you out there, brother.
Hey, what's up?
How we doing, man?
Good. How's everybody?
Dude, we're
fantastic.
Vibing. Don't trade with the Chiefs. Great name.
The Browns are on the clock?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. What about Abdul Carter?
No, I just wanted to ask because I know you were a big proponent of the Giants not taking him in a lot of the mocks that we did or that we were talking about. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I was hearing what Cody was saying. If they did trade Thibodeau, then obviously it would make sense. But you know, he was the top 5 pick himself. I'm pretty sure he was 3 or 4. So I'm not too sure they want to do that. I think because they're fighting for their job, that they'll go with a guy like McMillan and have him and Neighbors and try to load up for Russ, and then go for that. But there's also if people trade, then it makes it interesting. But I think the Patriots are going to take Carter. So I think the Giants are going to go. That was what I told you earlier. I said Cam Ward, Hunter, McMillan, and then Abdul Carter.
I like it. Well, hey, talk to us a little bit about Will Campbell too, because you're a trenches guy. You love talking about O-linemen. So give me your take. Give me your thoughts on him. I know you're very high on him as well.
Yeah, I love him. Like you guys were saying, a lot of people were all of a sudden now talking about his arm length, but it does matter, of course. But like he quoted when people were talking about it, he said, I had the same arm length for 2 years straight and nobody said anything until now. And I think he's still got quickness and strength and talent. And like Cody said, if it doesn't work out at tackle, he's going to be a hell of a guard. So I don't think it's he's got to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
but,
it's not a
for
miss in any way. Yeah,
you're not gonna. Yeah, if he doesn't play tackle well in the NFL level, just move him inside, and he'll be just as excellent. So, you know, the Patriots could use him. The Jags could certainly use him. The Raiders can use him. The Jets could definitely use him. All those teams could use him in the top 10. So it all depends on who picks in front of him, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting too because a lot of people had Membu actually as the top tackle prospect on their list there. It's funny, Sam saying terrible suit. I'm seeing him walk out in it right now. Sam, I think it's kind of a bold statement, honestly. A little swag
cool.
to him.
It's like
who's that?
20-ish.
Will Campbell.
Mafia style.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a TV in my room, in my computer office, so I don't see what they're wearing.
Yeah. I mean, good size, even with the small arm length, though. 6'6", 319. I mean, that's beautiful.
But Jake, you tell me the Bills have problems with that arm length. Would they be drafting this guy?
They would not. The Bills don't like taking anyone with less than 32-inch arms. Actually, it's like 32 and a half, I believe. If you look at the laundry list of guys they've taken, they really haven't panned out. So I think they have something against it. They would not even consider Will Campbell just
32 and 5/8.
He's got too much. His floor is too high, Mike. We wouldn't draft him anyway.
Look at, I love on a pro day how he's able to get another 3/8 of an inch, really stretched on that one. So interesting there. I'm showing that stat there on pro day where he's able to get 33 inches.
That is wild. I always like going to, I'm going to look right now because on NFL.com they have like the actual the combine numbers that they measured in at. So I'm going to look at that real quick because I thought it was even less than that. I thought it was 31 and a half or something.
Did they use the full 10 minutes to pick Cam Ward?
They used about 8 of it.
Yeah, it was close.
I was talking to Mike earlier, and I said I think they'll probably take for some reason they'll take the whole time to pick them when they don't need to.
Brutal takes in this chat. Sounds like a scared bunch. I don't know. I'm not able to keep brutal rakes. I don't know. Aaron's
brutal takes. Hey, he's been drinking. He's still getting after a little bit. Where are we at right now? Pizza Florian was the last stop I had heard. By the way, Mike, really underrated Buffalo pizza place. Pizza Florian needs to have more love because it's unbelievable. It's not Buffalo style per se, but the guy that created it, Jay's Artisan, he's actually the owner of former owner of Jay's Artisan, created Pizza Florian. His literal title is pizza scientist. So another Buffalo hotspot, got to feature it in the food video. Aaron is a Patriots fan. He's saying we sound like a scared bunch because
got it.
Will Campbell.
It took 40 minutes for one pick.
I've been saying this for a while now. I think the Patriots are the second best team in the East right now.
Yeah, they're going to be good.
Some great moves.
I think the Dolphins, I hate to say it, but what the Dolphins have been doing, really some head-scratching moves there. Crazy.
Yeah. I think it's possible that the Giants do trade. They might trade back, I think, even because, I don't know, that they just need so much.
Brown's pick is officially in.
All right.
Oh, baby. Can't wait to
and
let's see
do we want it tipped? I got it.
Oh, yeah. Let's be the first to break it.
All right.
Cody,
Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan, number 5.
No surprise there. No surprise.
Well, that surprises me.
Really?
Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter was already taken.
I thought Cleveland was on the clock.
Oh no, we might need to catch him.
Oh, Sean, no, you missed it, brother.
You're way behind, buddy.
Cleveland traded out of number 2 with the Jaguars. And the Jaguars took Travis Hunter.
Oh, okay. Now I just upload. Okay. So Jags took Travis Hunter. Giants and Patriots already picked?
Abdul Carter, Will Campbell, and then Mason Graham 5 to the Browns.
Oh, so that already happened. I thought we were just talking. Oh, what the heck?
Mason Graham out of Michigan.
So good.
To the Cleveland Browns.
The Giants did take Carter, even though they have Thibodeau and Burns.
Yep,
and the Patriots took Campbell. Okay.
You know who's licking his chops right now? Jim Schwartz. I mean, this is a classic Jim Schwartz pick. We have experience with Jim Schwartz, Mike. I mean, he was here in Buffalo, and what he did with that D-line was fantastic. I mean, it was the last time the Bills had multiple 10-sack getters in a season. It was like 3 guys with over 10 sacks in a season. Absolutely crazy. You go and get Mason Graham, who's really a great run defender, but also can rush the passer. I mean, he is talk generational talent. I think this guy, he is special, man. There's the leverage that he plays with, even though he's 6'4", it's just really impressive me. to me. The strength that he has, everything that you want in the defensive tackle, high motor guy. You're going to pair him with Malik Collins, Shelby Harris, some of those other guys there in Cleveland. Man, exciting. And honestly, it's gonna also help is Myles Garrett. So, and it's a really, I'd be surprised if they don't take an edge after this as well. But yeah.
Still got to figure out quarterback there.
They do.
You got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett running right now, so they're going to need something long term here. Maybe a top of 2. I know that Tyler Shuck, that everybody thinks is incredibly overrated by the NFL scouts, at least at the top of the second, has been I guess they have some more firepower now after they traded down with the Jags as well. So I think we might see them either trade back up into the first with some of that firepower, take a QB, or they can fix that at the top of the second round as well.
So what was the trade compensation from going from 2 to 5 or from 5 to 2?
It was a 26 first, the second this year, and the fourth this year. And then Jags got back like another fourth somewhere.
See what I was talking about, Mike? That doesn't seem like that much, but when we traded back with the Chiefs, we gave them like 75 picks.
Yes.
To move back. But okay, so just so I'm caught up, now the Vegas Raiders are picking. That's
yes.
Okay.
This has got to be Ashton Genty, I'm thinking, right?
I had information that I've gotten over the past 24 hours, not that I'm an insider getting the information, but the information relayed to me from the insiders that I watch is that they are not going to, and they would think that this is either Banks or Membu.
Ooh, interesting. Kelvin Banks, I'll tell you what, he's moved up on a lot of boards too. I know people are pretty high on him. He can play guard or tackle, special player. Some people have him as their top-rated offensive lineman in this class, which is
and never mind. The Raiders are picking Ashton Genty. Pick is in.
Oh, there it is.
So,
Jimmy's saying Mason Graham looks pretty soft, to be honest. All right.
He's got a little bit of a baby face to him, but he definitely doesn't play that way when he's on the field.
What website are you guys looking at to have like all the picks listed? Because all the ones I'm finding, they're like 3 picks behind.
Oh, I have my X feed or Twitter feed. It is
Twitter.
A honed craft now.
Yeah, X is where you want to go. Pretty Ricky is a great follow. Did you follow him, Cody?
Yeah, just got back to me. He had to rebrand after he missed on the Brandon Ayuk trade last year, so he is rebranded to something different this year. But yeah, he actually did get about an hour before the draft. He was calling the Travis Hunter trade up with the Browns and Jags.
That's crazy, man. I don't know what that guy does, but he figures it out.
Yeah, he is now. If anybody else wants to follow him out there, it is at Slick Rick Scoops.
There it is. Slick Rick Scoops. I'm going to have that feed up here. I got to get it up. Aaron. Yeah. Actually, Aaron had a good question now saying, I need an honest take on the AFC East this year. How many years are left to capitalize? I'm assuming he's saying for the Buffalo Bills. What do you think that is, Mike? Is this the year? I mean, we say it every year. And how many years do we have left?
Go to Sean with that. I'm trying to keep up with all the moving around.
Yeah.
And all
Sean,
this.
what do you think? I know.
What's that?
You're
say that
critical
one more
of
time?
the team, and rightly so at times, right? But is our window closed?
No, it's never closed.
Love that.
Because anything can happen for any team. So
as long as you got Josh Allen, that window's never closed.
Yeah, it's tough because you got to have the right things happen. You got to get a little lucky. You got to have people step up, and coaches got to make right decisions. But you always have a chance.
They're going to come in next year. We're going to do it next year.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you just got so many good quarterbacks and so many good teams in the AFC. We'll see if my Texans can get back in there, if they fix up an offensive line. Defense is going to be stout, but for the Bills, I mean, you also got NFC or the AFC North up there is always going to be in contention. We'll see if the Patriots jump up and start doing stuff with Drake May. I mean, it's a damn good conference. So I mean,
for sure.
It's hard to put it's just hard for me to put a window on Josh Allen and that offensive line that you all have got, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is we got some good rooms, we got some questionable ones, and can't just have Josh Allen do everything all the time.
Definitely true. Timmy suggesting there's not even a team close. I love that.
He's been MIA. Good to see you, Timmy. I haven't heard from Timmy in a while. He's been hiding since the Sabres did so bad. Staying away.
I love what Sam says here, saying the new stadium's coming into play. if the NFL is quote unquote rigged, right? Wouldn't this be the year for the Bills to win it? So then you could sell more tickets for the new stadium opening. I mean, not that it's going to affect Bills Mafia from buying tickets anyway. I mean, it's going to get done, but good point, Sam. I love that.
Other than the trade with the Browns, I mean, no surprises here, right? I don't think there's any surprises here in these
I don't think so.
top 6.
No, that one just shakes up everything though, because it makes Mason Graham then go at 5 where he probably wouldn't have been going to the Jags. And now you get Ashton Jeanty at 6 where you could have had something else go. So I think from all the mock drafts I've seen, I've never had one going like this, or I haven't seen one in the last 24 hours that's even close to what this just turned into. So everybody's mock drafts already throw them out the window. But once you put that trade into place, then I think we are pretty chalk so far.
Curious to see the statistics around it, but what has a higher percentage of hitting, your March Madness bracket or a mock draft? I know the mock draft, obviously, you're only dealing with 32 teams in the first round, but there's so much that happens on draft night.
Oh, no, it's got to be, oh man, but the March Madness bracket is just so, you can flip the coin on that one. I know that's a stupid odds, even if you just blindly pick it and it was even odds to pick that many games in a row. But the NFL draft has so many players available as well, and the order that they could go, you're not picking a 50-50. I would think the NFL draft has to be harder to pick all 32.
Oh, that's definitely true. Yeah.
And then once you incorporate like trades, if one team even moves one position, your entire thing's off. Yeah, I would have to say that it's got to be the NFL draft. Picking all 32 to the correct team would be, I don't even want to know the odds on that.
And also predicting trades and everything else that comes with it. It's like, how do you do that? Happy for Ashton Jeanty, man. It was the right move by the Raiders. I mean, Sincere McCormick, love him, great name, but I don't think he's the guy. No. They tried with Samir White. They're looking for a guy to replace Josh Jacobs, and it's sad how that relationship sort of ended because he's still an elite back in football, but at the same time, you don't want to necessarily pay for him either. And that's kind of a predicament the Bills are in with James Cook right now. Do you pay him or do you let him walk? The thing is, Aaron, I was talking with me earlier, actually, and he made a good point. He's like, it's almost like real estate with the running back position. You could pay now. You're still going to pay more than what you want to pay, but it's only going to go up, especially with the revitalization of that running back position, which I love. I mean, I'm a hat on a hat type guy when it comes to football, right? So I'm loving this. I miss the LTs, the Priest Holmes, the Clinton Portises, right? So this is a nice kind of rebrand of the running back position. So I think it's only going to go up. So, you got a guy like James Cook who doesn't have as much mileage, 17 tuds last year on limited touches, splitting time with both Ty Johnson and Ray Davis. I'm okay with paying him a little extra.
There's another guy who didn't test at the Combine or Pro Day.
Yeah.
No, he was a locked-in guy that was going to be the RB1 overall, and he was going to go in the top 10 no matter what. There was no reason for him to do anything. I mean, he is a fully fledged, all-around built running back, obviously the best in the country, runner-up in the Heisman, and he easily could have won it if we didn't have a generational player playing two ways. He would have won the Heisman. He is fantastic. The only knock I've heard against him is a little bit of pass pro, but he can do that. And he's not like a full Christian McCaffrey level route runner, but he's perfectly fine out of the backfield as well. His story going over from playing in military academies over in Europe throughout high school as well, and then going to Boise State, sticking with Boise State, turning down like $700,000 to transfer out of Boise State this last year as well. By all accounts, world-class kid as well, perfect in the interviews. And now we get our new beast mode that's moved its home down to Las Vegas, and Geno Smith gets a really good running back to support that offense.
Yeah, of course, the peak turn away, right?
All the great people are going to the AFC, of course.
Hey, Sammy V wants to know when's the last top 10 running back besides Barkley.
Oh, good question. Bijan Robinson.
Bijan was.
And that was like 2 running backs. It was Bijan at 7, and then it was Jahmyr Gibbs at like 12.
10.
But he was 12. But he was
Gibbs
12.
Yeah.
It was a shocker.
Yeah, Gibbs and Bijan. But he's going to be a 20 plus. He's going to be a 20 plus million guy. That's what I was saying about pay Cook now, because 50 million is going to be chump change in a couple years because Gibbs and Bijan are going to get 20 plus.
Yeah.
Next year.
Right.
But we're not going to pay him. We're going to play this year. They're going to tell him, oh, we'll give you 15 now. And he's going to say, no, I wanted 15 last year.
Yeah,
and I want 17. And then they're going to say, oh, sorry, buddy. See you later. And then he's going to go somewhere else and get paid. And that's what we always do. We wouldn't even pay Singletary $1 million, and the Texans took him the year after we had him. We wouldn't even give him $1 million. We just don't want to pay our running backs.
We got insider information on the next pick.
I've got insider information that is not the case, actually. It is not Tyler Warren. We're looking at Armand Membu going to the Jets at 7.
Ooh.
Hope they take Shador.
Oh, why did that? That's interesting.
I like this, Mike.
Leave it up like that the entire time.
Just you for the rest of the show, baby.
StreamYard and I guess their scenes are still beta. There's a reason why it's beta. So we're gonna stick here.
So not Tyler Warren, Stefan. That does make sense. They haven't taken a tight end in the first round since Dustin Keller. Then before that, it was like Anthony Becht, and they just haven't. And Dustin Keller was probably the best tight end they've taken in the first round, maybe ever. I mean, I'm trying to think of like Jets' history of taking tight ends. They just do not like taking tight ends. They don't like signing tight ends either.
No, I mean, they're rolling out Jeremy Ruckert as their first tight end off the bench right now. And the bench is where he should be for most of the time. So I think they'll definitely take one here in the first 3 rounds. I'm not sure what their picks are off the top of my head. I can pull that up here in just a second. But
I think they got 7, 42, and 70 something. They have two 6th-round picks, 2 5ths, and then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
I think. I'm pretty sure because I saw someone post about it earlier.
Yeah, so they've got some capital that they'll be able to get somebody, maybe like an Elijah Arroyo is one of those names that's up there in the second, third round. Mason Taylor as well at the top of the second has gotten a lot of buzz. Even a Harold Fannin out of Bowling Green. There's a lot of names. Yeah. Jake Ferguson as well. Terrence Ferguson out of Oregon. A lot of names still there. So if they don't want to take Harold that right Fannin. Now, that production,
ridiculous.
He's like a leading wide receiver on any other college team. Numbers are just absolutely insane.
Did he lead the nation in receiving yards?
I believe so.
There. It's wild. Max school too. I love that. Bowling Green.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Jake, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah, brother.
I asked Mike earlier. So this is an obvious one, and with your trivia knowledge, you'll get it. But you could say Josh Allen's elite without superstar talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what people say. Yeah, I also agree. Now, what about Mitch Trubisky?
What about, is he elite?
Would he be elite with not superstars around him?
I don't know if he's elite necessarily with him.
Right. So
he had Allen Robinson in Chicago, and I think he was dealt a bad hand, honestly. Like, coaching did not help him at all. I don't think Mitch was bad by any means. I mean, he was a Pro Bowl quarterback. Playoff quarterback, 12-4.
Right. Well,
they did the double doink.
My point is for the fans that always say we don't need superstars because we got Josh Allen. What happens if he misses 5 games and then you have not superstars with Mitch Trubisky and you go 0-5 and you miss the playoffs? This is why it's only one of the few reasons why you should always surround Josh with elite talent, because that reason, and 2, he shouldn't have to be being a Superman all the time. Yeah, he did it. He won MVP without superstars. But now that he could do it without superstars, reward the man and give him more superstars. So I wouldn't hate if we drafted an elite offensive weapon, but a lot of people they're content because of how well last year went. But I just feel you never know. People could have figured out the offense this coming year, and then we could have a slow go at things. And God forbid Allen misses some games, which he never does. But he's been getting hurt every year. One of these years he might miss multiple games, and I don't think Mitch Trubisky's going to win any games with Khalil Shakir and Josh Palmer.
Hey, Ben coming in hot. Put some respect on the MVP, the Nickelodeon MVP.
I stuck up for him
Code,
earlier.
What are we fired up about over there? I see you fist pumping.
Oh, my wide receiver one of the class goes way earlier than all the haters didn't want him to go. Todd McShay saying he's 50 on his board. Tedero McMillan to the Panthers at number 8 overall. That's a good
pick.
Hey, that's a great pick, dude.
I had him going 3, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
all that stuff floated out about there from his freaking freshman year about a video saying that he doesn't like to watch football, then being twisted into him currently saying that he doesn't like football at all the stuff about his practice reports, he doesn't go hard on every single route. If you just look at everything that this dude does well, yes, you may have to coach him up a little bit. Maybe there's some concerns there, but if the Panthers are picking him this high to be their outside X wide receiver, you still have old man Adam Thielen on the inside. This is fantastic for Bryce Young and the Panthers.
And don't forget Leggett too. Yeah, my boy, who fleeced away from the Bills.
So that's already in? Man, they're way ahead of the live broadcast. My goodness.
That's actually a really good pick. That's good. And their coach he's a very likable and very good with the guys. And you saw the Bryce Young progression near the end of the year. And after he got benched, he came out better when some people thought, yeah, he's done. He got benched and he's done. He's not going to be a good quarterback. They fixed it.
Shout out to Holy Cross. I love Jalen Coker, but yeah, going in with him as your other outside guy with Xavier Leggett, this is a great pick for the Panthers. And honestly, I kind of bought into that nonsense a little bit, Cody. And I didn't totally buy into it in the fact that I didn't think he was a first-round receiver, but in my latest mock, I had him going 29 to the Commanders and Matthew Golden, the first one off the board. But when you look at the intangibles, I mean, look at the size, 6'4", 213, production's there. Obviously, the guy is a good ball player. It's a good fit. I mean, they're getting size. They have Xavier Leggett, who's huge, and Tetero McMillan. I mean, that's nice. Good for Bryce Young, too. He's got to be fired up.
Oh yeah. Now their defense is still like the worst in the league, which is why everybody wanted to like. I was putting Jalen Walker to the Panthers at 8. Obviously, think that had to be in very high consideration for them, and they were actually really rumored to be trading out of that pick, but they stick and pick with. I guess it's his preferred nickname is T-Mac, not Tet. So they get T-Mac there. But I mean, you've also got Liam Cohen there, and he just came over from the Tampa Bay Bucks, where you do have that Mike Evans comp that everybody wants to throw around for T-Mac, and he gets another guy that's just fits that beautifully. I think. I'm not saying he's going to be Mike Evans by any means. He definitely plays a little bit differently. I don't think he's as physical. His jump point catches are definitely there. But he actually works really well underneath as well. His slant, and then he actually has some really good run after the catch stuff as well. He was I'll throw it out there for all the people. I think this isn't safe enough space. I can't say this on a fantasy football show, but I had him as my wide receiver 1, even over Travis Hunter.
Wow. Speaking volumes. I love that, man. And it is crazy because coming into this whole draft process, we're talking January, I felt like he was the consensus number 1 guy, and people didn't really know where Travis Hunter was going to play, so they didn't want to put him in that category. And it's crazy the fall off that you saw. So happy for you. I know you've watched extensive tape on all these skill guys, so it's great to get your intel on it. I admittedly this year did not watch as much tape on the skill guys because I felt like the Bills, they got to go in a different direction, beef it up front in the trenches on the defensive side.
Yeah, definitely don't need to pour immense amount of resources into that position for y'all. So I totally get it. But
I mean, it'd be nice. It's a nice thing. Like Sean said, it'd be great to get another offensive weapon. But yeah, Weston, this might be it, baby. Shedeur Sanders. This was my gut feeling. I don't know what it is. This is Aaron Brooks 2.0 if they hit though here. Which, I don't know, take it or leave it, right? But playoff quarterback, 8-8 guy for the most part. Actually, one of Blaker's favorite quarterbacks back in the day, Aaron Brooks. It's going to be interesting. But Kellen Moore there too, offensive mind, great with quarterbacks. Could be a good fit. But this actually, you're looking who's available, like Jalen Walker, Michael Williams. There's some guys, there's some dogs on the board.
Yeah, I think it's going to be OTDT or
Ryan Ramczyk just retired. Yeah.
So you've still got Banks there because Membu's the only offensive line or offensive tackle who's gone outside of Will Campbell.
Right. And
so we'll see there. Defensive side, yeah, you've got the Jalen Walker still on the board. Michael Williams was a heavy with 24-hour mock draft guy. Everybody had Michael Williams going to the Saints at 9. Mm-hmm. And by all accounts, they don't like Shedeur as much, and they actually would prefer Jackson Dart. So from everything I've seen, they'd be going with one of the interior positions here.
The Jets took Membu.
They did. Yep,
They
took Membu.
They've picked a lot of young linemen the last few years. They had Vera Tucker and Fashanu, and
they're trying.
Luckily that hasn't worked out for them, but they've been getting good quality, guys in there. Vera Tucker just keeps getting hurt, and then Fashanu was switching both spots last year, so maybe if he gets consistent at one position, it'll work out.
Just catched up on some texts here. Got some people asking me what's going on with the picks and all that, and I'm like, tune into the live stream. What are we doing here?
We're at pick 9. Saints are up.
Correct.
I love what Sam says. Buffalo for the draft in 2026. I think the draft is a reasonable ask for Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we're really lacking in is hotels near the stadium, and I think that's going to be solved eventually here because we just got approval supposedly to put above a 3-story building or something like that near the stadium. So fingers crossed. I think it'd be a great venue. Buffalo is perfect. It's a foodie town, big drinking town. Bars are open till 4 a.m. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Red
dangerous.
Roof Inn. There you go,
That's
Sam.
dangerous.
Red Roof Inn.
There you go, Ben. Airbnb, baby. 2 rooms available. There you go.
Saints will stick on the offensive line. They are drafting Kelvin Banks, Texas.
Good pick.
Ooh.
That's a good pick for them.
Nice.
Maybe
And it's
Shador was right. He was thinking about the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh makes sense.
Because Max Crosby asked him Mount Rushmore for quarterback and wide receiver, and he goes, "Oh, whoever is going to be throwing to DK Metcalf and George Pickens in Pittsburgh." So maybe he was talking with what's his name?
It's funny because we probably could use the office as like a hotel, Sam. In our basement, Mike, you saw a little bit of it a few years ago, but it has since expanded in terms of the utilization of space. We have an area for wine. We have a full gym down there. We have a spot. I think there are beds down there in the other corner. Probably could do that, Sam. I love that. Yeah, just going back to the Saints pick here with Kelvin Banks too. I mean, you talk about their offensive line. They drafted Fuaga last year as their left tackle. Ramczyk retires, but it's interesting because I forgot they drafted Trevor Penning, who I know has been kind of up and down for them. Banks can play both guard and tackle, so I'm kind of curious to see what they do. They signed they traded for Dylan Raduns as well from Tennessee, I think.
Yeah. Do they still have Cesar Ruiz too?
They signed him. Cesar Ruiz, yeah, he's still with the team. He was drafted in
20
5 years ago or so, right?
Yeah, I think
2020 draft.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I want to say they drafted another one last year too.
Fuaga was the guy last year.
Yeah, Fuaga. Yeah. So they're
beefing up that O line though.
They're trying. Shoot. So they got Fuaga, they got Banks, they got Ruiz.
Will Clapp.
Oh, they got Will Clapp.
He's their backup, but yes.
On the Trevor Penning thing, though, they did announce their 5th-year options. They picked up the 5th-year option on Chris Olave. They declined it on Trevor Penning. So they are not expected to keep him after this year. Would assume that he comes in to be the backup and Kelvin Banks slots right in to be their right tackle starting day one.
Didn't he get hurt a little bit too, Penning?
Yeah, he has been banged up, I believe. Yeah. He was a mammoth, though. I remember watching him at the Senior Bowl and everything. He was something, man. Mean SOB.
You guys remember back in the day when tackles would go pick one?
Yeah. Well, I mean, still, we got how many top 10 tackles picked here? We got 3 in the top 10 here.
Who was it that one, Jake Long or whatever?
Jake Long. Eric Fisher. Shout out to Western.
Fisher.
Shout out to the Mac as well. Central Michigan guy. Yeah. Chicago. Are they going Tyler Warren here, Mike?
I'm waiting for punters and kickers to get some love and get picked first overall.
Oh, we started on them.
What if there's a kicker who does receiver, D-back, and kicker?
Oh, man, that would be incredible. No, I don't know of any.
Yeah, I don't think we need another Tampa Bay situation here.
Roberto Aguayo.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. There's a guy, Alex Mastromano, out of Florida State, actually. It's interesting that you mentioned that because Roberto Aguayo being a Florida State guy. I think he can kick, but he's mainly a punter. He does both.
So Jake, I told Mike my plan this year was I didn't really do extensive research on draft prospects because if I don't know much, then I can't get too angry if it's something I thought wouldn't be a good idea.
Fair.
So now the only thing I'd be mad at is if we picked a safety in the first round or if we traded with Kansas City again.
Been seeing Malachi Starks mock to us in a lot of the later mocks that just came out here.
Yeah, and it's not that they're not good. It's just, it's probably the least important position on the defense, especially for what we need. And we just spent a second round pick on Bishop, and we paid Taylor Rapp, and he's young. He's a young guy, so I just feel like you got bigger needs at defensive tackle, edge rusher, even corner, and then I always put receiver up there, but I just don't think safety's that important, even if for us right now in this draft until later rounds maybe.
Yeah.
Does Sammy V preach this at the office? Jake, stay positive always.
I think so.
Stay positive. Stay
yes,
positive
he does.
always.
He definitely does. Yeah.
Great guy.
About the Bills too, yes, because there are a lot of therapy sessions being so close to the stadium, and coming there for tailgates, and walking there after a loss to the Chiefs. There's a lot involved with that. So yes, stay positive. Absolutely, Sam.
Jake,
Here's the man, by the way.
everything.
Hey,
All right.
thanks for coming.
You betcha. Thanks for
This is the man, the owner of Gorilla Garage.
Oh.
Doing it,
How
follow.
you doing?
How are you?
There we go.
Love
Go
it.
Bills, baby.
Go Bills. Go Bills.
You were saying it was Tyler Warren. It's a tight end, but it ain't Warren.
Ooh, it's a
Colston
tight end, but
Loveland?
not
Loveland?
Warren.
Austin Loveland is the first
Oh,
tight end
wow.
off the board. Tight end out of Michigan.
Crazy. Hey, fellas, I'm going to hop off cam for a hot second here. I'll be right back.
He went to the 49ers?
Bears.
Bears are 10, right?
Bears 10. San Francisco's on the clock now.
That's really interesting because they just signed Komet, and Warren was supposed to be the better tight end.
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff over the past month. A lot of people have started to flip it to where they did believe that Colston Loveland was more of the all-around type of tight end. They like him a little bit more as kind of the route runner. I still love Warren a lot more. Like once you get the ball into his hands, he might not be as refined as like a route runner. And they actually have said that Colston Loveland may be a little bit better with like inline blocking as well. But Warren, like once you put the ball in his hands, it's just incredible after the catch, and the stuff that he can do on the field, runs over everybody. What he did for Penn State was just incredible. But a lot of people love Loveland. And I mean, he was also playing through, I forget what type of shoulder injury, but it was basically a nasty break in his shoulder that he was playing through all year that he just got repaired. So it would have been interesting. And they didn't really have a quarterback this year, so it's hard to do counting stats for him.
Yeah, that's true.
But
still a good pick either way, I think, because they got DJ Moore, Rome Odunze should be all right. They got Cole Kmet, they got a decent run game.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad run double tight ends, and they've definitely fixed their O line because they brought Tooney in, right, and they had Darnell Wright from a couple years ago. They got the best center in free agency. I can't remember his name, from the Falcons, was it?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember that one. I'm bad on offensive line names. So
yeah, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he was from the Falcons, though. I can't remember his name, but
so they got Drew Dahlman out of Atlanta. Yeah. They got
Dahlman,
They got Joe Tooney, and they also got Jonah Jackson as well from the Rams.
I'm not a big fan of Jonah Jackson, but that's better than what they had. That's for sure.
For sure. So they got their offensive line solidified. You bring in Ben Johnson as your offensive coordinator, and now you have two tight ends that you can really run that 12 personnel out of.
Yeah.
I mean, the offense should be fantastic. I still think they need a running back because I'm not a DeAndre Swift guy.
Yeah, he's all right. Just nothing, blow your socks off kind of guy. But
right,
he's like Miles Sanders. He was good when he was in Philly, and then he went to the Panthers, and then they didn't have a great O line, and he kind of just was eh.
And interestingly enough, Ben Johnson's staff was the one who kicked DeAndre Swift out of the Lions organization the first time, and now he's there again.
Same thing again.
Yeah, so I assume they'll draft somebody pretty high. But you're giving Caleb Williams everything to do with this offense, right?
Yeah.
Like you're giving him every chance to succeed, surrounding him with, I mean, the best improved offensive line of this offseason. You've got the wide receivers already in place from your draft picks of this year and last year now at the tight end. He doesn't really have an excuse to fail anymore outside of just a running back. But It's the Bears, and they'll somehow screw it up again. It'll come back to shoot them in the face again because that's what the Bears do.
I like when the Bears are good. It makes the NFL feel right. I don't know.
Yeah, I have a good friend who is a Bears fan, doesn't live too far from me, so he's probably happy with this. I feel validated because when we did our draft with Keith and Jake and Tony, I had the Bears pick at here, and I had them taking Tyler Warren, a tight end. So I didn't get the right person, but I got the right position. And they were like, no, they're not going with tight end. They already have Komet. They're going to go. I think we went running back here. I'm not sure who they went, but it was not a tight end. So I'm feeling very validated that they did take a tight end. Here's a question for you, Sean. You got a couple questions coming in. Trey saying, hey, Sean, good to see you back on the channel. Who are you hoping the Bills pick?
Well, like I said, I didn't do too much because I wanted to kind of decompress. It was after losing how we did to the team we lost to, after we gave them to the guy that kind of destroyed us in the playoffs. I need to take a little step back, but I'd love to have a guy like Kenneth Grant. And, obviously you see him go top 15, you see him go 40 something in these mock drafts. So you don't know, but he's a guy I kind of really want. He's a big, strong, physical, fast guy that could really disrupt in the middle. And I think that's what we truly need, because there's always that question, what do you need better, great secondary or great defensive line? But they both help each other out. However, the way we run our defense, I think it's more important to have an elite defensive line, because we kind of make our corners play off and not as, let's don't give up the big play, be conservative. So I think if we have a superstar talent on the defensive line and everybody keeps improving, Joey Bosa has a good season, Greg Rousseau takes a step, things like that, that Oliver continues to do good, I think that'll just be what we need to get those one or two plays that we need to win that championship game.
So, any surprises here for you? Any big surprises so far?
I mean, for me personally, I am surprised by the Loveland pick. I'm not, I guess, not as surprised that they would go tight end. I truthfully thought they might just go defense and run with Cole Kmet, try to pick one up a little bit later, and I still would have picked Warren over a Loveland. What's up, pup? The trade is just the most massive one that throws off everything. So I don't even have a basis for because everything that I had in my brain, it felt like we were pretty locked, or I was pretty locked all the way through the first 8 picks. But then once you throw Travis Hunter to the Browns at 2 instead of the Jags, it threw off everything. So this whole thing is surprising now. I don't think I've gotten a single pick right from my mock, not even the player in the correct draft position.
Really?
Now you got Cam Ward, right?
I did get my Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Will Campbell. The 4 at least are right. But from there, everything's kind of been tossed and turned upside down. So the trade is obviously the biggest one. I thought the Raiders were going to pass on Ashton Jeanty, but it might have changed after that trade. And then Colston Loveland over Warren. Still a little bit of a surprise to me, but I saw that one coming. And then now we did just get the 49ers pick in, which is Mykel Williams.
All right.
I don't know much about him.
He is the edge out of, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on Mykel?
I'll have it up here in a second.
I clicked on the wrong one.
There it is, out of Georgia.
Yeah, Mykel Williams, edge out of Georgia. There's been it felt like there was a lot of differing opinions on Mykel Williams. Just from what I have heard, people ranking him all the way down into the 20s. But this is the point of the draft. This is the point of the draft where everybody has said the player that you take at 10 is probably about the same level of player that you're taking at, say, 35. This is kind of where the top end talent has kind of fallen off now. And so there's a wide consensus on everybody here, but they pick up a really good edge. They've obviously had a little bit of concerns with that. You've still got Bosa there. But they are aging out at that edge position, and it was definitely an area of need for the 49ers.
Cody, let me ask you, because I know you're big on draft stuff. You know how you mentioned it, and people always say, oh, there's only 8 or 10 first round talents in the first round. There's not actually 32, but then you see people get drafted at 35 or 40 that are superstars and all pros and elite. So couldn't you consider them, first round talent, but nobody just knew about it? So
oh yeah.
Yeah,
This is what we do every year. We think we know everything going in, and we like to, at least all the draft people. I don't call myself one. I only do the offensive side of things. But everybody's so
Right.
they're so bought in, and we'll have draft grades tomorrow, or we'll have draft grades
Yeah.
2 hours after the first round is done, saying this is an A+ pick or a C pick. You don't know that for like 3 years into their career at
Right.
minimum. Like it's the overconfidence in your own evaluation. It's just your opinion of what the player was before you went into the process. And there's so much stuff that we'll never know until they start going on the field and playing. So
Yeah.
we'll always give the grade to it just so the NFL fans can kind of have their moment in it. But truthfully,
Right.
yeah, we don't know on this side
Yeah.
on this side of the camera, this side of watching on from our screens.
Well, no, I more meant it for like when the GMs, like Brandon Bean always says, "Oh, we don't have more than 11 or 10 first round grades for these guys." And it's like, well, maybe you should have more because there's people that go after the first round that are superstars that you never pick. So it's just like I feel like they just get too enamored with what they think is the first round talent. Because then like we traded back, we took Coleman at 33, but then McConkey went at 34 and he doubled Coleman's production. And what's his name? DeJean went at 40, and we could have picked DeJean at 33, and I would have been fine with that.
Yeah,
But
valid.
he didn't think. Apparently, he didn't think he was a first round talent. But then he went and won a Super Bowl.
Nah, it hurts.
Jake, I have a question for Jake. Did you see
Yeah.
who the Bears? You see who the Bears took?
Colston Loveland, wild.
Now, do you remember when we were doing our mock draft with Tony and Keith,
Yeah.
and the Bears came up? It was my pick, and I had him taking Tyler Warren, tight
Sure
end.
do.
And Keith said, no, they're not taking a tight end because they have Komet. You
Right.
agreed with them.
I
So I
did.
just want to say I feel validated here, man.
Hand up. That's on me. I'm looking at the grand scheme of things, right? I mean, a quarterback, especially a young quarterback's best friend, is a good tight end. They already have Cole Kmet. Why not get two? You got two really good athletes. And honestly, Colson Loveland, he is like a receiver more than anything. Like you could line him up in the slot. He's going to be a special player. I think it's a good pick. I mean, him and Cole Kmet are actually kind of similar in ways, but I mean, shoot, now you got two really good weapons that you can line up in the slot. You can have them run different routes in the route tree. Ben Johnson's going to be creative with that offense. It's exciting for the Bears.
So
At least
talk
finally
about-
an NFC team is getting players and not all the AFC teams.
Yeah, let's keep that going.
So let's talk a little bit more about Michael Williams, who's been picked, and obviously he's an edge. You don't see a lot of stats from as far as sack, but he's also a great run stopper. I think that's where he shines currently. I do like his size off the edge. I know edge guys are typically a little bit smaller, a little bit quicker, but for me, I love this because the Bills, we need this type of run defense from an edge guy, but also feel like he can bring the heat here with some, as he gets coached up.
What's funny is one of his pro comps, Mike, Greg Rousseau.
Oh, okay.
Kind of interesting,
What a wonderful
right?
comp.
Sean's not gonna like that. Sean's not gonna like that. He says, "Okay, we can't have another Rousseau."
If they caught me to Rousseau, I'd be like, I'm gonna go back to college for a year.
No,
Rousseau's a good player. It's just he needs to,
Yes.
in the big moments, needs to come up big, and that just hasn't happened totally yet.
My thing
Solid
for me
player.
was. Sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
No, you're good. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say it's not that I hate him. I think he's like I think I liked him too much and expected too much from him because you see him 6'7", sculpted like a Greek god, 260, all muscle, and you're like, man, learning from Von Miller for 3 or 4 years, he's gonna be a superstar. And then it's like, okay, well, he had 3 sacks in one game against a backup right tackle and finished the season with 8. Like where's all this? Why aren't you using that big body of yours? You should be destroying people. Well, because you got the size, you got the quickness, you got the strength. So where's that on the field every play? But I guess I just want too much from him.
You'd think with the Von Miller signing, like we were excited about it because, like, hey, this is a great veteran to learn from. This is a Hall of Fame player. It's only going to enhance his career, and it's kind of been the opposite. It seems like when Von, would be on the field too, it almost would hinder Greg Rousseau, if anything. So kind of interesting. You'd think it'd do the opposite, but yeah. So it might be the best thing.
Yeah. That's what I like the most about Devon. I was like, oh, it's going to pay dividends for us. All these guys are going to get, all this elite tip and training all year. And then it's like, well, none of them really look that much different. It's like,
Yeah, right.
I don't know. But I think also part of it is I think we just got to stop rotating so much. I just think it hurts people more than they think it's helping because like, oh yeah, you got fresh legs, but you have people like Epinesa openly say, I'm better when I can go multiple times in a row against someone because each one of my reps is me planning what I'm going to do next to attack him or how I'm going to set up the next move. But if he's on the field for 2 plays or a drive and then he comes off and then he comes back on, that's just too much hot and cold kind of thing. So maybe, you leave Rousseau and because most teams they play their great edge rushers all game except for a couple plays here and there. So why can't we do that? Why don't we give it a try?
At least 75% of the snaps.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, how many snaps did Greg Rousseau play last year? I'd be curious to see what that number is.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to have him and Bosa. I mean, Bosa, I want Bosa to play a lot, but Epinesa's a good back. He's a good backup. So if you got Bosa and Rousseau, and then you got Solomon and Epinesa coming in once in a while, once in a blue moon, then I'm fine with that. But we don't give these guys a chance to actually get in the rhythm. They always just come out.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Howard Booker to Dallas, is that true?
Yep, that it was confirmed.
How about it? Wow.
Who's that?
That's a
Who's
little
Tyler
earlier
Booker?
than most probably thought. But
Guard from Alabama.
Ooh, a guard at 12? Interesting.
talk about a road grader. I mean, holy smokes, man.
Yeah, they really missed on what's his name last year. What the heck was his name? The tackle, Guyton.
Oh,
He was horrible. So they really missed on him last year. So hopefully this guy worked. But they got Cooper Beebe, and he was really good. So they're trying too.
Yeah, I think what you look at with Booker is initially people were so high on him just because of overall sheer strength, but then he goes and he tests and didn't test particularly great. I mean, he ran kind of for the size, not a terrible 40. I think he was 5.38 or something like that. But bench press, 21 times. But then you look at arm length, 34 and whatever. So he does have longer arms. But in terms of like explosiveness, I think people felt like it was going to be a little bit better in the way that he tested. So that could have initially on these mock drafts maybe hurt his stock a little bit. But yeah, at 12, I mean, the Cowboys, they've always preached having a good offensive line. So yeah, maybe they'll hit on this one.
Yeah, I mean, that combine was rough. A 27 on the vertical, a 7.10 on the broad, a 3.93 RAS score is definitely not what you wanted to see from a first drafted guard off the board here at 12. But this one's tough. The Texans were definitely in on him as well. So good to see.
Nice fit for you guys.
Would have been. Would have liked to have seen him, be a little bit more athletic. But everything on tape is fantastic, like you said. It was just the combine testing that was trying to bring him down.
What pick are you guys, Cody? 24?
25.
25. That's not a bad spot. Is Tank Dell coming back this year or no?
I don't think he'll see the field in 25.
Okay, so you think you might go receiver? You're gonna wait because you need linemen too, but he's not coming back, and you don't got Diggs.
I mean, damn, they brought in freaking 10 linemen this offseason. I truthfully think, I do think they draft. They'll probably try to draft one. There's been a lot of rumors of them trying to trade up potentially to draft a guy like Zabel here before the Seahawks get to their pick.
Yeah, he's great.
But they've brought in so many damn just below replacement level guys this offseason.
Did you guys sign Trent Brown, Code?
Oh, God. I don't even know their names.
I think you signed Trent Brown. I'm pretty sure you signed Trent for the tackle. Massive tackle, but not really at the same caliber he used to be.
Yeah.
But you brought like Laken Tomlinson, some Wiley vets, Laken Tomlinson and some other guys
Tomlinson,
too.
Cam Robinson.
Yeah, Cam Robinson was
Ed Ingram, Trent Brown, Jerome Carvin.
Brown, yeah.
They're gonna play. I truthfully think they're just gonna play we're just gonna let all you guys battle it out at camp, and we're just gonna play the replacements at O-line. And CJ Stroud better direct you to where you need to go, and he's gonna call the checks, and they're gonna try to figure it out like that.
Yeah,
it's a scary way to go, but we'll see.
Hey guys, Jessica, thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a while since we've seen you. She has a question for you guys. Dolphins taking a wide receiver. I will say, our friend Keith, our good friend Keith, wants to take offensive lineman. But what do you guys think here?
They're gonna go corner.
Yeah, I could see corner or safety even.
Yeah, they're either gonna go Eamon Wari or
Oh yeah,
who's that? Who's the best corner?
Malachi Starks. Yeah.
I actually think they'll take Walter Nolan.
That's a good idea
Interior
too.
D-line. Yeah, I mean they could use it. Like Zach Sealer. Who else do they have?
That's it for
much?
D tackle. And
Yeah.
Chubb is coming back, but he's always hurt. And what's his name? Phillips is always hurt, so they need edge rusher too. So
Yeah.
they might go anywhere in the D line, but they need definitely need corner. They were talking about getting rid of Jalen Ramsey.
Dolphins just traded out. Weston coming in with the breaking news here. He said,
Love
"Word
it.
on the street."
Weston is one of our channel insiders. If
Yeah.
you don't know, guys, appreciate him. He is a Chiefs fan. Go easy on him.
I know some of my Dolphins friends were talking about they wouldn't be fine. They would be fine with trading back too. So that's not I don't think that's a bad idea.
I think Keith is probably pretty happy with this. You know, he had mentioned trading back as a possibility if the right guy wasn't there. Luckily for him, in our mock draft that we did with them, he ended up getting Will Campbell at 13, which is insane.
Yeah.
That was carefully orchestrated. I was listening
for
the whole
sure.
time.
Yes, without a doubt.
Do we have this confirmed? And what's the deal here?
Haven't seen the deal, but it is confirmed they're traded out.
Wow.
Interesting.
I don't know
Hopefully
who
they
with
Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills are moving up to 12. Or let's go.
That'd be kind of
Early night.
wild.
Early night, guys.
We're moving up to 13. Let's go.
At that point, you got to just fire the entire staff, right? You don't trade with the division. I know we traded with the Chiefs, all right, but you don't trade with a interdivision team, especially up
Jake,
that many.
let me ask you. I think I said it in the messages a while ago, but I don't think you answered. Would
I'm
you
sorry,
trade
I'm
every
terrible.
single one? Would you trade every single one of our draft picks for Justin Jefferson and what's his name? Harrison Phillips.
Yes.
I
I
thought about
would.
that too. I was like, you know what? F it. You get your one tech. You get Jefferson. I'm fine with giving away 10 picks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm saying the Pats traded
True.
to the
Was that a
Bills.
trade, Ben? I thought that was it actually a trade? I have a feeling that was a release and a signing. Let me pull that up.
Bledsoe? Yeah,
Was it
I was
actually
too
trade?
young to. Mike, you should know more than us.
I should know this.
We were in diapers almost.
Well, I remember him playing, but I don't know whether it was a trade or a free agent move.
Pulling this up right now.
I believe it was a trade.
Come on, Carson. Sorry, Mike.
It
I
was
gotta go on mute for a second. My son went potty, so I got to change him.
All right, no worries. Keith is probably fuming right now. No, Weston. Like Jake said, he thinks Keith might be all right here. Really depends on the deal, where they're moving down to.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find anything on where they're moving down to, who they're trading with, but we do have it from Schefter that they've traded down.
Wow. Who's jumping up to get who?
I'm curious here. I mean, is this a trade to move up and take Matthew Golden? You know, you talk about another receiver on the board who is phenomenal. My favorite prospect.
Unless I just got Schefflered. I don't know. No.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Nope. No trade for the Dolphins. Pick is in now. I don't know. I don't know if I got
Weston.
Schefflered.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or,
you got
what's
Weston.
that?
Well, so did Weston
Well,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Who do we have a pick yet?
It was a trade. You're right, Ben. How did
Wow. Oh,
Oh,
goodness. Your boy is off the board already. The Dolphins
Matthew
are
Golden?
drafting Tyler Grant.
Oh, Tyler Grant.
Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant. Aaron Wilson's misreporting his first name, but apparently it is Kenneth Grant.
You got to be kidding me. To the Dolphins. No.
Weston, you asked for it.
Weston. Oh,
Oh,
man,
my
Weston.
gosh.
I'm a little upset with you saying that.
I hate this.
There he is. There he is. Kenneth Grant.
Well,
look at
it's
this
funny.
dude.
It's funny because Ben and I have been having this conversation almost daily. You know, who the Bills gonna take. It hurts more that the Dolphins take him.
It does.
Yeah.
It
That
does.
Yep. And confirmed.
Oh, that
Yep,
one
fully
hurts.
confirmed. Kenneth Grant.
Wow.
It's a great pick by the Finns. Actually, Cody, you kind of nailed it.
I thought it was going to be Nolan, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, nobody had Kenneth Grant going up this high with the D tackles that are still on the board. I mean,
that
you're-
kills.
you're looking at
Wow.
Yeah, but he's probably the next one after Nolan actually to go. But people were talking Nolan like he was going to go top 12.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Grant is a better fit for their scheme. They play a 3-4, so they have a traditional nose tackle, and that's what Grant is, whereas Nolan's more of a 3-tech. So this actually makes a lot of sense. It's a freaking great. Keith's got to be over the moon. I'd be running laps around this basement if I just took Kenneth Grant. Good God!
Well, good thing we got a good O-line.
They're live. We should jump over to the channel and cut in. We're going live over to the Finns forecast. Let's get their reactions right now.
That one really hurts. That one really hurts, guys. This is 2
now
years
I have to hate him. I want him to like him. That's the thing.
I know. Oh,
that's a rival.
Just thinking he's going to be coming after Josh Allen. Oh my goodness.
My draft.
Wow. All the AFC teams had good picks so far.
Yeah.
But now now we got to hope that he does bad.
It's funny. All the AFC East picks were in the trenches.
Yep.
What's up, Brett?
Why.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Not great. Not great. We just saw Kenneth Grant go to the Dolphins, so I'm not happy.
To the Dolphins, man.
But otherwise, just peachy, brother. Just peachy.
We're probably going to trade back. I already know.
Oh, that's such a killer, man. I just that one.
Yes.
Man. That one hurts.
Definitely does. No, I thought he was going to go a little bit later in the draft, but he went earlier than everybody expected.
I guess when your guy's there, and he really is a great fit. I mean, Dolphins run a base 3-4. They need a nose. You pair him with Zach Sealer now. You still have good edge guys. They can't seem to stay healthy, but if they are healthy, man, that's a scary front. And yeah, guys, I don't know what I was thinking with the Drew Bledsoe thing. Going back to that, I'm trying to change subjects real fast here. The Drew Bledsoe was a trade. Yeah, it was a first-round pick. I don't know what I was thinking there. Totally unrelated to the draft, I know. But
don't be upset, Jake. We'll probably take Dylan Gabriel at 30.
Oh, my gosh. Come on,
if you want draft stuff to distract you, we do have our 14th pick overall into the Indianapolis Colts. It's Tyler Warren, Penn State tight end.
That's a no-brainer. Great pick for them.
Similar colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody thought that they were going to go with Colton Loveland. And, I mean, this is kind of a surprise that Tyler
Loveland went over him. It's crazy. Yeah.
I want to say the Colts, they lost some linemen, too. I think Ryan Kelly's gone or someone. They probably should have went lineman. But...
Yeah, they did lose Ryan Kelly. He went to Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they got weapons for Daniel Jones and AR-15.
Yeah, that's an interesting scenario there. That was my hot take, is that the Colts were actually going to trade A-Rich, but I think they're going to sit with them.
I think they should run double quarterbacks with Jones and Richardson, and they do like option because they're both fast, and then just toss it to Daniel Jones and have him throw it downfield, or just do some dumb crazy stuff, and because they're both pretty bad.
What they need to do is also in the second round you take Jalen Milroe and then you run triple option quarterback.
It's all quarterback.
Now we're being innovative.
And then they trade for Taysom Hill, and then they just have 4 quarterbacks on the field at all times.
We ship out Jonathan Taylor. We don't need him anymore. We just run quarterback triple option every play.
That would be wild.
Just keep laddering it back to the quarterback, and that'd be funny. Well, I don't know. The draft's shaping up to be interesting.
Definitely.
What do you think about Trey's question here?
What do you say? If the best D tackles are gone by 20,
I hope the Bills trade back.
Yeah, I could see that, Trey. Yeah. I mean, we don't have a 3rd-round pick, too, so you trade back, maybe you get a 2nd and a 3rd, and then you have 3 second-round picks. You could do some damage there.
Only thing for me is we got 10 picks. We're not going to use 10 picks. We don't need 10 players. We're missing just a couple positions. Why not be aggressive and move up real big? And that's just my thing, because what are you sitting back waiting for? You're waiting for all the good guys to get taken, and then you're gonna go back, and then you're gonna say, oh, these people weren't graded well, we didn't think they're that good, and then you're gonna draft someone at 34. Then the person you go after him is gonna be the better player. just be aggressive, take a chance.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there, Sean. But I do think that this draft, especially like around pick 30 all the way up to like pick 60, there's kind of like a little bit of a difference between the early part of the draft and the players that are elite in the Cam Wards, the Travis Hunter, and then there's a big fall off right after Abdul Carter, and then it starts to die off a little bit. There are the Kenneth Grants that are going to be good players in the NFL, but there's no generational talent that's next on that list. But I do think that there's some really good talent in the range of 32 to 60, and especially having those 2 second-round picks here, I think that we should keep those second-round picks, stay where we are, and then we can potentially give up a pick in next year's draft to move into the 3rd round if we want to.
Yeah, we got a lot of capital, and we don't have a lot of positions to fill, so that's why I just feel like you got to be aggressive. And if they're you're taking a chance on someone who may not be what you think they are, or you think they're not a 1st round talent, just take the chance anyway because they might be. And then there you go, you got an elite player and you're going to make a difference.
Yeah, I said it pretty much in all of the episodes that I did for Nickel City Mafia and the 10 Buffalo Bills players that they need to draft. It's a lot of defensive players that we need to pick up. The offense is solidified pretty much. We can go after another interior offensive lineman, but I do think that some of the positions that we need to target, or especially at the interior defensive line, even bringing in an edge, that would be great to see. But I'm a little bit concerned, and I don't know if Mike and Jake would agree with me on this, but I'm concerned about the safety room. I think that we need to add a couple of pieces in there. I'm telling you, I think that the depth is very bad. I think that we can upgrade there a little bit. I'm still not sold on the number 2 cornerback position for the future of the Buffalo Bills, and I mentioned that in one of the shows by getting Trey Amos. I think that Trey White is a great pickup for a year, but we need to find somebody that can be solidified for years to come, especially with a big contract and Christian Benford there. And, linebacker too, the depth at linebacker, I still want to find one more player that can play special teams there, and I'd be happy with solidifying all those positions in order to have a really good team this year.
So
Yeah.
So safety for me, I don't want it to go first. I mean, we have 3 starters technically. Damar Hamlin did start for us, so he's backing up. Hopefully Cole Bishop, and you got Tyler Rapp, who is injury prone, so we know somebody's gonna have to fill in for him a few games. I do think, there's still, Derek Harmon still on that list right now. That would be my next guy. If he falls or even gets close, we move up to get him. That's what I'm looking at. I see corner now coming into play. I know initially I did not want a cornerback, but it is one of our biggest needs because we do not have a cornerback too. We brought in Trey White, but that's just death piece right there. There's no way I'm expecting Trey White to be starting. And I hope the Bills aren't expecting that either. So there's still the top corners are out there, man. So we got some good players still to go. And I hope that we move up the board to get them. So Jake, what are you thinking? What are you hoping now right now? So Kenneth Grant, our crush is gone. There's a bunch of guys still.
Well, I hear where you're coming from, Brett, with the safety thing. And I think my biggest concern is, obviously think of Taylor Rapp and his health and stuff. But don't forget, we did sign Derek Forrest, who also has been a little injury prone. But when he was given a chance to start, man, he was special. He did some good things for Washington. So I'm not ready to totally, sink the ship on the safety room just yet. I think corner definitely is more of the need. So you look at guys, and Ben brought up a good point. He's like, Will Johnson, is he worthy of a trade up? I think he definitely is. I actually really like Jahdae Barron. He's actually my favorite corner prospect in the 1st round. Favorite in the 2nd round would probably be Darian Porter, who I mentioned in a lot of shows. But yeah, I think with Barron, you're getting something unique because he could pretty much play just about any position in the secondary. If you wanted to even switch him over to safety, you could go that route too.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the most viable option. Personally, I still want to go D tackle because I just feel like that is the area you work from the front and you build back. But a lot of good points there. Harmon was predominantly a 3 tech at Oregon, but just based on sheer size, athleticism, and strength, I think he wouldn't have any issues transitioning from that 3 tech to a 0/1 tech and be more of like that Daquan Jones guy, who, by the way, if you look at his NFL.com comp, which I I was quoted as saying this. Daquan Jones, one of his pro comps. So you love seeing stuff like that. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Mike. I think Derek Herman would be my pick, unless there was a way to trade up and get either Barron or Johnson.
What about Walter Nolan on the board at 30?
I like Nolan. I like Herman a little bit better just because he's a little bit bigger. Nolan's a little undersized, actually. When you look at, I think he only weighed in at like 296, but a really impressive player with a high motor and super strong too. And I think he's been on a lot of boards. He's been the consensus number 1 D tackle. So I wouldn't mind him, but I think as far as scheme fit goes, Herman might be a little bit better of a fit.
So
yeah, I agree with you there.
Atlanta's on the board. I'm sure the pick is in. Who do we got, guys?
Hasn't been. It feels like they're trading out. They've been draining this whole clock. I haven't been able to find it.
Weird. Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see here.
Yeah, nothing. Interesting.
Let's see. Where you at, Weston? What's your information saying here? They're down to a minute left on the clock. So
it feels like with so many edge left on the board here, where they've got Mike Green, they've got Jalen Walker, you've got James Pierce, you've got Ezra, you've got Stewart. If they want edge, which is where everybody's been mocking them to, like, why do you need to pick here? If you can find that trade partner and they want an edge, you could probably trade down probably 10 picks and still potentially get a guy that you like.
yes, truck reviewer, we need to upgrade from Cam Lewis. Knew one of those was coming. And Trey,
can't wait until we interview Cam Lewis on this channel.
Right, we're gonna get him.
Love that show.
I've reached out to his rep, and we're going back and forth right now. Trying to get your point, Trey says, but I think the Bills scouting staff is the best in the league in the later round. Yeah, that's the other thing. And we've done so well with, well, I say we've done so well. Look at Christian Benford, 6th-round pick, starting, got extended with some big money. So, yes, the Bills, I don't know whose point you're talking about, Trey. So come back to me. Let me know.
Yeah, I think
he's talking about Brett with the safety.
Got it.
And when I mention safety, I'm not talking about picking them up at the 30th pick. I'm talking about just general of the draft.
Yeah.
You know, I still think that picking up a linebacker later in the draft, that's a good option for us. Do you think that a safety needs to be in play throughout the draft somewhere and maybe in the 4th to 5th round range? But overall, I do think that there's some solid depth. We just need to upgrade in specific areas, especially on special teams. That's an area that I want to see some improvement there. We picked up Chris Tabor as our new special teams coach, and we need to find some players that can come in and make an impact there to increase our special teams. We won't have Sam Martin anymore, so we have a punter. You know, we can pick up a punter later in the draft.
Yeah.
What do you know about this kid from Florida State, Brett? You know anything about this kid from Florida State? I know you're not far from there. Mastermano. He's from Australia, but he's huge. He's like 6'5", 240 or something.
You know, I watched Florida State punt a lot, and I'm not going to lie. Yeah. It was pretty embarrassing to watch them play. But, I mean, listen, he's got a big leg. I'm going to tell you that right now.
6'2", 247. He's a big boy from Melbourne.
But he reminds me so much of I can't even think of his name, the Steelers punter back in the day, Harvin.
Oh, yeah, Presley Harvin.
Pick us in, guys. Pick us in.
Yep, it is Jalen Walker.
Jalen Walker.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that was consistently mocked at like 8 to the Carolina Panthers. They get to sit and pick him here at 15. Great value on him.
Yeah, for
sure. Is that the Falcons?
Yes. Raheem Morris is loving
He's
that.
He's an edge rusher.
And they needed that like you need water.
Yeah. And he gets to stay and play at home pretty much. You know, Georgia. Now he's playing the Georgia Dome. That's an incredible honor for him.
Yep.
Low moving cost.
Georgia Dome, I still call it that. I'm sorry.
No. It's the Georgia Dome forever. You're right, Brett. You know, I want to go back to your point about the safety real quick, too, because I meant to say this. You know, there is a pretty big drop-off, too, like when you look at talent. So it almost is – I understand taking one a little bit earlier just because of that, because after that, you're kind of just throwing darts. Whereas, like, the defensive line class, you're going deep into the 3rd, 4th round. You could still get a quality player there this year at least.
And I totally agree with this. I said one of my players on my board – I mean, I didn't mention it on any of the episodes that I did, but one of the players that I absolutely love in this draft is Malachi Starks. And if he slips, I mean, I know he's already slipping here a little bit, but if he slips to 30, That would be an
30 is
incredible
crazy
pick
value,
for the
yeah.
Buffalo Bills. I know that many people would not love that, but like I said in the episodes on here, you can pick up a guy in Deion Walker later in the draft, and he could become that one tech. We don't need somebody to step in and be the leader for this year. But when you have Daquan Jones that's going to be probably retiring next year, you can sit behind him and he can just play 15 to 20 snaps a game and learn behind Jones and make an impact and learn the pass rushing skills in order to become a great player for the Bills.
And we're up here now with the Arizona Cardinals at 16. I think this is potentially. I think I had this one in my mock. Actually, it might be one of the first picks I actually hit here in a bit if they do it. But Jahdae Barron here is where I think I had them originally in my mock with the Arizona Cardinals.
That'd be a good pick for them.
Is T-Mac still on the board too?
No, he was eight overall to the Carolina Panthers.
Okay,
and
I just want to make sure.
There was also an interesting report from Rossini that came out after that one that they were sitting on the clock for a little while and a team was calling them for T-Mac. And apparently it was the Rams were interested in trading up all the way to 8 to go get T-Mac.
Wow. Yeah, I was trying to see if any of the big receivers, I know Matthew Golden's still on the board, but I was thinking about pairing him with Marvin Harrison Jr. and finding somebody that could be that number 2 wide receiver for Kyler Murray in the offense. I know that they want to explode this year, and they do have some very good talent with Trey McBride. But I do think that the number 2 wide receiver could be in play here. Maybe it's a little too early for Matthew Golden, but I do think that they need to find a wide receiver in the draft too.
Dude, could you imagine? You got Marvin Harrison, Matthew Golden, and honestly, I still like Michael Wilson a lot too. He's a good player. And then you got Trey McBride.
Oh yeah,
James Conner. That's a kind of a nasty offense.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they do need some work on defense. They need to figure out their defensive line a little bit, but I do think that would be a great option for them. And then finding a cornerback too. They've been missing that since Patrick Peterson left them. And, but that would be a great option to help the offense put up points. And if Kyler Murray can stay healthy, they can definitely compete in the NFC West.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not either of the Texas boys. It's not Jahdae Barron, and it's not Matthew Golden. They're going to the D tackle who's supposed to be picked in the top 10, and it's Jalen Walker. Slide stops at
it's a hell of a pick. It's a hell of a pick.
For the Cardinals?
Yep.
Wait, you just got taken by the Falcons, right?
Wait,
Jalen
what am I looking at?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, hold on. We just started.
No, I'm
got him up on the screen.
Sorry, Nolan.
Hey.
Nolan.
Walter
Nolan.
I scrolled down one too far, I believe.
That's a good fit for that defense because they run a 3-4 as well, I believe. Jonathan Gannon is probably licking his chops. He loves that. They just signed Calais Campbell and Delvin Tomlinson, too. That D-line's going to be sick. They draft Darius Robinson, what was that, last year in the first round?
Last year, he was hurt a lot, but he's going to be great.
Yeah. And you got some dogs on the outside, too. And Baron Browning, Josh Sweat, they just signed to. Oh, my gosh. That's filthy.
Oh, they got Sweat. That's right. Yeah, they're cooking.
It's a nice defense, man.
Maybe J.J. Watt comes out of retirement.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? Go back to the Cardinals?
He said he was going to go to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, they have a glaring need at DN.
Jessica, I'm holding off on. I'm pushing back on this one a little bit. We might have gotten some false information on Nolan so far, so I need to confirm that one yet.
Jessica with an interesting point here. Yeah, I heard this. Trey brought this up too in our Discord today, I believe, basically suggesting Brandon Beane. I don't know if he alluded to this, but there's some talk that he might be a bust. It's early to say that. And he played so well early on, I felt like. So, but yeah, it's hard to tell where he fits. Is he a 3-tech? Is he a 1-tech? He can do it all. He's very versatile, in my opinion. Just got to give him more of an opportunity. I don't know if he necessarily got that.
We are confirmed now. Walter Nolan, Arizona Cardinals.
Walter Nolan? That's a great pick for them, man. That defense is filthy. Man.
Still got old Wilson, man Calais Campbell out there.
I know. Back home. Back with the Cardinals. He's going to try to do it again. Cool, man. Yeah, it's nice. Good for
guys. This guy had 6.5 sacks, man. Defensive tackle. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, this dude's just relentless, honestly. High motor guy and really the top DT prospect on a lot of boards. So it's a good get for them. And I mean, he's got some great mentors there too.
Yeah.
You're right, Trek. A 2-tech.
Yeah, 6'3", 293 pounds, arm length of 32.5 inches. I mean, this is a guy that's going to wreak havoc
Look
in
at
the field.
The pro comp is Namdi, aka Justin Matabuike. I mean, talk about pass rush specialist. This guy's putting up Warren Sapp numbers as D tackle. What he had 12.5 2 years ago? I don't know what he had this year.
What, for Nolan?
No, Namdi Matabuike.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm just saying that was one of his pro comps. They put
okay.
it even up on NFL Network here. And if you're comping him to Matabuike, 13 sacks in 2023, 6.5 sacks this past year.
Walter Nolan.
Yeah,
Nice.
my dad says Walter Nolan. Well, Harmon's on the board, and honestly,
Yes.
again, I think he's a better scheme fit.
Who's up now?
It's the Cincinnati
Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals on the board right now, folks. This is going to be interesting.
16.
So one of the player comparisons for Walter Nolan is Javon Hargrave, and
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
curious to ask Jake what his thoughts are on that comparison.
Hargrave's a good player, man. He just signed with did he sign with Minnesota?
I believe so. Yeah.
He was
Sounds
with
right.
San Fran. Got paid a little bit. He had a really good year with the Eagles, and then didn't do a whole lot in San Fran, from my understanding. I think he had one good year his first year, and then last year he was kind of injured. Didn't really play a whole lot. I agree with what Jessica's saying. Probably did hit that first year wall.
What do you guys think here? What do you guys think for the Bengals? What do they need?
Everybody's saying it's Mike
Edge.
Green
Mike
out of
Green.
Marshall. Yep.
Yeah, Mike Green makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's a nice pick.
You've got
Is
the
that what it
character
is, Cody?
concern. I don't know. This is just what every single mock I've seen almost has Mike Green to the Bengals. You have a little bit of
Makes
character concerns in the background. The Bengals do not care whatsoever about character
No.
concerns. So
No,
everybody's kind of making that perfect marriage. You don't know what Hendrickson's status is. He's still up in the air and if he's going to be with the team or not going forward. And you probably need one opposite of him, even if he does end up staying and they get that deal worked out. So Mike Green, we'll see if it actually comes to fruition. But by all accounts, everybody wants it to happen.
yeah, Mike Green makes sense.
Oh, did they sign? They signed Hendrickson, right? Did they get him?
No,
No? He's still out there?
he's still.
No,
I mean, he's on the team. He just hasn't gotten an extension.
Gotcha.
And right now, it's getting. Supposedly, he's pretty frustrated. His camp is frustrated, and he has voiced that even on McAfee.
Oh yeah, whenever the owner comes out, or I guess she's not the owner, but like CEO of something, comes out and says there's just some number that you should be happy with eventually, and they have given him promises the last 2 years in a row that they would get the contract done with him, and he's played on well below his market average value for those 2 years, and then to come out and do that, and then it's been pretty ugly behind the scenes apparently.
Yeah.
And this
Less
is
than
where
Like his son.
Wow,
oh wow, I mean they need corner help as well.
they do. Yeah. What they got there? Trying to think. Cam Taylor-Britt and who's a nickel corner? They lost Mike Hilton. They got Dax Hill. He converted a corner. Trying to think of the other guy.
Does that confirm Will Johnson?
I haven't seen that one yet. They've got currently on their corners, they got DJ Turner and they've got
DJ
Cam
Turner.
Taylor-Britt.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense. But DJ Turner was a second rounder.
No,
too long
not
ago.
confirmed.
Okay.
I have it as somebody else. I have it as one of my A&M guys from Jordan Schultz.
Yeah, Shmer Stewart.
Oh.
Good pick. So they went edge. Bigger edge, too. I mean, I think he dropped some weight, but he weighed in at what, like 267 at the combine? Did you talk about, like, combine warrior, 4'5'9", 40-inch vertical?
Oh, yeah.
Freak. What do you think of him, Cody? Because you're an A&M guy.
So it is tough with the A&M defensive line in general because you got three of them. You've got Turner, and you've got Stewart here. So it was, from what I've heard, I'm not a defensive guy at all, but from what I've heard from people around A&M of why they don't have the production numbers that everybody wants to see from these edges and tackles is they were just very stick to your lanes, rush through. We're not going to scheme up anything for a free rusher to get in. They did it very well against the run all year long. So I'm actually more of a Scorton guy, but the athletic upside of Stewart, I get why NFL teams are willing to take that high athletic upside swing more so over the what I think is proven just probably more stable guy in Scorton. But the physical attributes for Stewart are just absolutely incredible. He's a fantastic player, fantastic athlete, but you need to put it together a little bit, I think, for Stewart to really hit his potential at the NFL.
I love that. Yeah, look what they list him at here, Mike. What is it? 6'6", 290?
290. They beefed him up. They beefed him up whenever this year, whenever they got him in, because they wanted him to play a little bit of tackle as well. And so they beefed him up. But apparently, yes, he has cut back down all the way to like 266 or something.
Yeah.
Jeez. And he ran 4.59, jumped 40 inches at that size. That's incredible. Really, really good athlete.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, guy 267 jumping higher than cornerbacks are with the vertical. That's freaking impressive.
And I mean, combine numbers are great, right? You got to see what they do on tape, but the tape matches the player, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, Weston likes Gordon a lot. He's hoping that he lands with the Chiefs somehow, which I had him going there in my latest mock.
We'll probably make sure that happens. Weston, don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. So, Cody, with the way the board stands right now, your Texans, they're coming up here. Josh Simmons, is that your guy right now you're hoping for?
I don't think they're going at Josh Simmons. It'd be fantastic. Like, I think they're probably on the phone right now. Although they probably wanted to jump Seattle here, who's on the clock, which everybody has Gray Zabel.
That's true. Yeah.
Because I think their tackles with what they've done and how many people they've brought in so many damn tackles. Now, are they good? Probably not. But
yeah,
I think they really wanted to. Everybody who I've heard talk has said they wanted Booker, but with him going up so high, obviously they didn't have a chance there. But they've already kicked out Laramie Tunsil this offseason because of character concerns. And you're hearing some of the same stuff with Josh Simmons about how he's not really fully matured yet. And he still has a little bit of ways to go before he really becomes an NFL pro. And then you've got the patellar tendon injury on top of it. And he might not be ready right away as well, or he's coming back off of it. So we'll see how much of a return of production he has. I don't think they want to go Josh Simmons, but if they're forced to here and Zabel's off the board, they might.
Could see it. Definitely see it.
I've also seen them. I think it was Peter Schrager had them with Donovan Jackson. If they wanted to kick Donovan Jackson, also the Ohio State offensive lineman, but they could kick him inside to guard pretty easily comparatively to Josh Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Jackson. He's a good prospect. I think he'll be successful as a guard in the NFL too, personally. Yeah. Yeah, I see Gray Zabel here for sure. The fact that he plays literally every position on the O-line too is like,
yeah,
why not? You got to beef up that O-line in Seattle.
Yeah, it just makes sense for them. If you got Sam Darnold back there, he can't be seeing ghosts again.
Yeah. Right. I feel like Sean likes Gray Zabel. That's a Sean Kula type of prospect.
Yeah,
right,
I love him.
Right?
Yeah, if he's somehow there at 30, I would take him.
Yeah.
And we can make Edwards the backup, and he can be left guard.
How many? The Bills had a ton of sacks against Seattle this past year, from what I remember. Was it
7?
Yeah, something crazy, right?
And when the Bills have a lot of sacks against you, you got a problem.
Yeah. Well, they got 5th and 6th rounders starting for him right now. The Seahawks, that is.
Yeah, they had a 42-year-old that was on their roster too.
Jason Peters, yeah, who just retired.
Former tight end.
Former tight end convert. Love it.
Weston saying they're shopping the pick. We'll see.
Hey, if we can get that Texans trade up, they've been rumored to want to move up. I don't know why
that would
they
be
would.
Great. Yeah.
I mean, if both teams want Zabel, I will gladly take Zabel there for the Texans trading up for him.
You're moving up 7 spots. That ain't too bad. I mean, you're probably going to have to give up a little bit of capital, but not too much, I would think.
No, probably 3rd, something like that. I don't think
yeah,
there would be anything more than that.
Right. You're in the late teens. It's not like you're moving up to a top 10 pick. I think that'd be a great get for you guys, man. Yeah.
Who do you think is one of the surprises that's still on the board right now?
Matthew Golden.
Fedor.
Fedor, Matthew Golden. Trying to think about Mike Green, honestly. I definitely thought Cincinnati. Yeah. Or Atlanta even.
Seattle, the pick is in. Do we have it yet?
They might pick Shador.
Do you think Seattle goes Shador?
No.
They could.
Nope. It is what we all thought it was going to be. They took Gray Zabel.
It's a safe pick. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He rose up the draft board so much. You know, his Senior Bowl was just incredible.
Oh, so good, man. Yeah. Is it I can find this here. Something with or maybe I'm thinking of another North Dakota State guy. It's like the weird recipe.
Well, you were thinking of Cody Mock.
Cody Mock.
Oh, it was Cody Mock. Yeah, it was Cody Mock. My bad. Yeah.
That was our
I
guy.
don't remember if it was Gray Zabel. Cody Mock.
That was Mike's favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cody
Yeah.
Mock.
I loved him too. Me and Jake saw him in person
Yes, we did.
Did you?
We sure did.
when we went to the Bucks game Thursday night.
Yeah. Cody Mock. Man.
Up close and personal.
Yeah.
Okay, someone check the private message.
He's going to kick into he's played tackle out at North Dakota State, and then he's probably going to kick into guard. They've also said he could play center. We could see him actually go. You could maybe throw him out at tackle. There's just concerns there with overall size and length for him to actually do that. So I think he even took snaps at the Senior Bowl, I believe, whenever he was asked to go into center. He just said he would play anything. Like, just put me on the offensive line, I'll play. He's
probably listed at guard, Mike, I would think.
But yeah, we'll probably kick into guard.
Yeah, I want to say it's interior because they drafted 2 young tackles. I think they were hurt last year. Cross and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Abraham.
Yeah, I think they had some injury concerns last year. So, they were always decent, but battling with injuries last year, I think they struggled. But Zabel would be good anywhere in the interior.
That's crazy. They listen to the center on this. This is the Athletic too. I mean, they're usually pretty good with their. Oh, Cody's giving a little fist pump here. I like this.
Blues are up 2-0. And they're fighting.
Oh, baby. Jihad Campbell. Yeah, that's a good one. And actually, that's who I could see going here at 19. Jihad Campbell to the Bucks.
Yeah, there was some injury concerns that came out with him. I think a shoulder that was potentially slipping him down a little bit, that he's potentially not even ready for, like, not mini camp, not OTAs, but maybe just coming back for training camp. So that was potentially throwing him down a little bit, but I don't know if that pick is confirmed or not.
Reminds me of David Ajabo a little bit. Back when the Ravens took him. He had like an Achilles tear or something, though.
Remember Willis McGahee for the Buffalo Bills? I mean, the guy.
There you go. I mean, talk about fully torn.
Yeah.
Everything in his knee.
Yeah.
Disgusting injury.
Yeah, and look at the career that he had. Even though, I mean, a guy that nobody has really thought of in years, but the career that he had, I mean, it's great to see.
Yeah. Still salty about his leave from the Bills. People were not very happy. Oh, this is the dark days of the Buffalo Bills.
Between him and Travis Henry, and I mean, just going back.
We've always had a good back for the most part.
Yeah.
When you really think about it.
You look back at it. I mean, listen, there's names that I can go back to and say, man, who would have thought that this guy would be a big name? Like during the drought, Carlos Williams for a couple of years, having career years for the Buffalo Bills. We never had a bad back that is going to hurt us, and we've always had pretty darn good safeties too, which is surprising.
Yeah, we honestly have. Those are 2 positions I can say they've been pretty consistent.
Okay, I'll say a third. Kicker has always been pretty consistent.
Special teams, baby.
Special teams have been pretty consistent. I mean, between Brian Moorman and then Ryan Lindell going into Hoshka, Dan Carpenter, and then Tyler Bass in here. I mean, yeah, Tyler Bass is kind of somewhat inconsistent. That's one of the areas, but I mean, he's solidifying himself. I'm going to say that.
Round pick, second round or second contract. I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
What do you think of this, Trey? What are you saying here, Brett?
Hey, Brett, I get to agree that people are going to wait for defensive tackles till later, but half the league is saying the same thing, and they all pick before the Bills. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is one of those situations where the depth at the interior defensive line is just so stacked. But, I mean, I can see a lot of different scenarios for the Buffalo Bills here. We do have a cornerback need. We do have, I mean, I mentioned safety. That's one area of depth. If you just kind of play the board and see where things lie, I think that this is one of those scenarios where the best available player at the cornerback position has to trump the best player available at the defensive tackle position and even the safety position. I mean, if you can find somebody that is going to be a star that slipped down the board at these positions, then take them. But it's got to be the best player available. I'm sorry, for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, there's good defensive tackles that are going to be available in day 2 and day 3. I mean, you look at Ty Robinson. That's another guy that I absolutely love out of Nebraska. Video. Yeah. Deion Walker is another guy, too, that are still going to be available day 2, probably day 3. And then you look at the depth at cornerback. Is it going to be the same as the top-tier talents and the Will Johnsons, the Jahdae Barons, and some of the other players in Maxwell Harrison that are available? Maybe those are the guys that you want. You want somebody that can be a solidified starter for years to come for your team.
Second pick is in. Who did the
I don't know if Cody likes it or if he's looking at the Blues game.
Just absolutely buried him. Then you'll never see more than 60 targets in a year within its current state. Ohio State wide receiver Emeka Egbuka to the Bucks.
Wow.
Chris Godwin replacement in 3 years.
That is a weird pick. Matthew Golden would have made more sense.
I was never high on Egbuka anyway.
That is a bizarre. I mean, good player, probably not the best situation.
I don't understand that one at all.
Yeah.
There was some weird rumors floating out about them potentially taking a wide receiver. I think they were Moctet in one, as they were like trying to say that it was Mike Evans' replacement. They took McMillan, who was balling at the end of the year as well. They're going to run 4 wide spread every single play, apparently.
Yeah, I don't like that. Who do they bring in as their OC? I don't even know who replaced Liam Cohen there.
They hired from within. It was their passing game coordinator, I believe.
Ken Dorsey? No way.
I want to see if he has
I'm gonna look this. Oh, Josh Grizzard. Okay. Wow, Larry Foote's their DC. That's awesome. I don't know if you guys know about Larry Foote.
Oh yeah,
I love me some Larry Foote.
Boy.
Good player. Good player back in the day. Wow.
I mean, look at these linebackers becoming head coaches. You got Kelvin Shepard becoming the defensive coordinator.
I know.
The Detroit Lions, and then Larry Foote going over here.
Jeff Ulbrich.
Yeah, Jeff Ulbrich. I'm trying to think of who else is out there, but I mean, just a lot of
Braves,
yeah.
Yeah.
Even D'Amico Ryans. So,
yep.
Some big names that are linebackers that come into the NFL. And does it seem to you guys that the league is starting to get younger with head coaches going out there?
Without a doubt. I mean, there's a guy
who played center.
Braves? No, he's outside linebacker.
Was it?
He was like an edge.
I always get him confused.
And occasionally played some tight end. Caught some.
Yeah, he caught some touchdowns. Oh yeah, he sacked. He was one. I think he was Ryan Fitzpatrick's 300 sack.
Yeah, I think that's right. Whatever. Great stat.
I remember
that, Weston. You think running back here, Omarion Hampton?
Who's up?
Broncos?
For the Broncos? 20.
Yeah.
That's going kind of fast actually today.
Seems to be.
Yeah, I mean it's 10-12. Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out who's the running back is for the Denver Broncos. I know that Javonte Williams is no longer there.
Oh, he's not.
Jaleel McLaughlin, Audric Estime, and
Audric Estime. Yeah.
We're going down the list now.
Oh, Cody jumped off. What was the deal? Why are you guys giving this guy no love here?
They're gonna go. Broncos are gonna go Golden.
You know,
You
I'm
think
just trying
that
to,
would be crazy?
I'm trying to think of the board right now and just the players that are available, and I'm looking at it and I'm just trying to find the right piece for Sean Payton. And I mean, I know that they have some needs at running back, wide receiver, defensive tackle. I mean, it just to me, it seems like this is going to be like a defensive player to me. I just have this weird feeling that they're going to pick up maybe an edge or something like that. I'm thinking like a James Pierce Jr. here.
Okay.
You know, I can see that very much, but I know that this is a Sean Payton offense. Like I mentioned, I mean, they're going to try and find somebody that's a good player on offense too, but I just have a feeling that they're going to go defense and they're going to try and build that defense even more. You see the player comparison for Amika Aboku?
Who's that?
James Jones is a player comparison.
James Jones. Interesting.
I was kind of surprised. That's what Bleacher is saying.
So, Mike, I know you had asked why aren't we giving him a lot of love? Really good player, good prospect, but the fit kind of weird because he's more of a slot guy. And they have Chris Godwin. They literally just re-signed Chris Godwin. So, what is the plan? Are they going to just run 4 wide like Cody was saying? I mean, you have to get this guy. He's a first-round pick. You have to get him on the field. Jalen McMillan, they just drafted last year too. And again, Jalen McMillan was balling too. And you have these 2 outside guys and Mike Evans and McMillan, and then you have Chris Godwin in the slot, who's an elite slot receiver.
I guess after last year, whenever both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went down, they were relying on Trey Palmer and Sterling Shepard to run routes out there. They got a little bit scared, so they were like, "Hey, we need backup starting wide receivers in the first round." I don't know.
It's bizarre.
Livid with that one.
Yeah, I see that. I see it in your eyes, Cody.
I mean, my wide receiver 3 in the class, and you just bury him.
Yeah, that's tough for dynasty too. I mean, shoot, man, you got to be. Bizarre.
I was just about to say for dynasty owners, I mean, this is just an awful move. I mean,
yeah, it's not great.
I mean, he's going to be like in a 12-team league. He's going to go to like 2-6 because you just can't put him in. You can't put him in to see the field.
Right.
Weston says the Giants are trying to get back into the first round. They got Bean on the horn. They're talking to him.
I'll be right back, fellas. 1 second.
Door. Yeah. I can see that.
I guess he's going to go to Pittsburgh, like he said. Pittsburgh's up.
So, Cody, you're not – I mean, Abuka, what you said was your 3rd overall wide receiver. Ranked wide receiver. Wow.
Yeah, and that includes Travis Hunter. So I had it as for fantasy purposes, I actually had it as T-Mac, and then Hunter, and then Mecca Ibuka was my 3rd. Mostly just based off of film grades. Absolutely fantastic for Ohio State. Everybody says he was only a 2. But he was also playing with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jeremiah Smith and JSN. So, like, I don't have too much concerns that he was only a 2. All of those Ohio State guys that are in that Brian Hartline pipeline have been absolutely fantastic. So, I love what he does, especially out of the slot. He can move a little bit inside, outside, but one of the most polished route runners you'll see in this class, and by all accounts, just a absolute film warrior and an absolute just team guy. So I was really excited for him to go somewhere and be a really good piece for somebody, but I just don't really see the fit of how he gets onto the field here, like we've been saying. So unfortunate, but we'll see how it goes long-term for him. Maybe the Bucs have another move planned up the sleeve somewhere else, but I don't see how when you just re-signed both of your top 2 guys. So you'll be running a lot of them out there.
Yeah. He had over 1,100 yards this year.
Yeah. Fantastic with Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith down there. They were balling all year long, obviously, all the way to a natty.
All right, the pick is in at number 20. Does anyone have that information right now?
Let's see.
I have Shador Sanders going at number 20.
To who? Not. It wouldn't be to the Broncos.
No, it's not to the Broncos.
It would have been a trade.
No, I don't have anything yet, even with the pick already in.
All right.
Let's see if
I
we
think
have
it's going to be probably Golden, and then Shador is going to go next.
everybody dynasty wise wanted to be Hampton.
I think it's Henderson actually to the Broncos, from what I'm understanding right now.
Oops.
Henderson position? What position?
Running back for Hampton and Travion Henderson.
Interesting.
No, I'm not going to trust that one.
I'm
Okay,
not-
I've got multiples on it. It is Jahdae Barron.
Ooh,
I was about to say I have multiple.
that's Jake's favorite corner.
Man, you pair him up with Surtain on the other side. That's a nasty lockdown on the back end for them.
Look at that. Let's take a look. What kind of 40s he run? 4.39 guy.
Fast guy. It's just a
5'11", 194. You have any concerns about his age? I mean, he is a fifth year, 23 and a half years old.
I'm trying to look back at his career, see if there was any reason. I haven't dug fully in the defensive side to see if there's a reason why he just took so long, kind of. No, track guy doesn't have the best like fully long speed, but versatile. I think there were people talking about he could go inside, play nickel, play outside, or even play safety. He's kind of moved all around. So a lot of versatility with Jahdae Barron to be able to play pretty much anywhere that the Broncos want to try to line him up.
Yeah, I think he's going to be more of the nickel cornerback here. His size is one thing that concerns me on the outside, 5'11". But, I mean, this is a great pick by the Broncos. I mentioned that they're going to go defensive side of the ball, just depended on where they're going to go. But this is a great pickup with Pat Surtain on the other side. They're going to make a big difference here. They might move him into the safety position too. He's very versatile and can play both the cornerback position as well as the safety position.
From our dog from the Slick Rick Scoops, it is not Shadur time in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
No,
He's gonna go to Buffalo.
Bills did reach out to Pittsburgh, according to Buffalo Shout. Had a conversation about moving up, but we'll see.
Doubt it.
But like I said earlier in the show, I think it's just, any GM down in where the Bills are would have to be making calls, see if anyone's interested in what they're looking for.
So
they're probably all taking a nap in the war room right now.
Mike, here's a question. You've been doing these NFL drafts now, the live coverage for this is your third year or fourth year?
Well, third year. We went live last year. The year before that, we only went live right around when the Bills picked.
That's right. So you've done 2 full drafts now.
Mm-hmm.
So if the odds are in our favor, the Bills are going to trade out. We're going to do the full draft coverage and everything, not have a first round pick for the second straight year. What would your thoughts be on that? Would you be upset or would you be okay with it?
No, there's a lot of good talent between 30 and 60. I wouldn't have a problem to get another pick somewhere. I'm hoping that's not the case. That was definitely a disappointment last year to stay on for 3 hours and find out you had to wait till day 2. Then you're waiting, you're working, you're waiting all day. Like, who are they going to take? Who are they going to take? And then we were all surprised with the Keon Coleman pick. So I hope not.
Chances of that might have just increased if you're looking for D tackle because we just got Derek Harmon off the board.
Well, there's still Tyleik Williams, right?
Well, there's no. Did he go? I think Tyleik Williams went, didn't he? Or no?
No, that's Michael Williams.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Not only did we stay up for 3.5 hours last time, we had to wait till the next day, and then then you picked Keon Coleman of all people.
All right. Well, here's the other guy I was looking at. Definitely was on my board. And
Harmon to the Steelers, huh?
Derek Harmon to the Steelers.
Wow.
Great guy. 313 pounder. 4-year junior, 21, going to be 22. Let's see here. Let's look at some of his combine. 4.95 40. Didn't do any of the vertical jump, or didn't he do any bench pressing as well? But this guy, I felt like would be the guy. I didn't think Grant was going to fall. And Grant, obviously, what Grant go top 12 or something crazy like that? Yeah. No, he went to 13 to the Dolphins. Man, I would have loved to get this guy. So there's a little bit of a bummer here. So all of a sudden, you got to be wondering. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of the defensive tackles, the top defensive tackles, according to the Athletic here. Mason Graham's gone. Derek Harmon's now gone. Kenneth Grant is gone. I think Walter Nolan was taken as well, right? He's gone. Got Tyleek Williams. Yes. I think you mentioned him, Sean. So he's there.
Shamar Turner is gone.
No, it was
Shamar
Shamar
Turner's
Stewart.
still gone. Shamar Stewart
Is the one who went. Yeah.
I'm sorry, my bad.
So any of these guys on any of your radars, if we're still going to go DT?
Alfred Collins, man. I'm going to tell you this. I mean, later in the draft, that's a big dude in the second round. That he's still on the board, but I think he's going to be there around like 30, 38, somewhere in that range. You know, the 30 picks, I should say. He'll probably be off the board, but he's a dog.
So Cody, I'm thinking they're going to go corner now. I really am. What's left here?
My last mock had them in with Amos, and we'll see. Obviously, he's still on the board there. If you were looking D tackle, you might have some sneaky ones like Omar Norman Lott still there. Darius Alexander, Tyleek Williams would probably be your three that you could maybe throw into the first round. I'm not sure as far as like scheme fits for what they are, but those would be the three defensive tackles that I would have on the board here. Currently left over, but yeah, you probably start to look more a little bit towards that cornerback position or towards the Malachi Starks who's still on the board with safety.
I was just about to mention. I mean, you got to play
Golden.
Who's the best player available?
Yeah, Golden too. Yeah.
You know, there's some good players that are still going to be on the board. You just
I come back to this.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The baby boy just woke up, so we change his diaper, rock him a little bit. My mom's holding him right now.
He woke up for a reason, Jake, because he knew that.
I know he's pissed. He's like, "What the hell?" Both of our top D tackle prospects just off the board.
Jake, you have a little milk on your shirt, just so you know.
I'm sure I do.
And that's how you know they're a top talent, because we didn't pick them.
So much for that call being made to Steelers.
Yeah. He called them all right. He said, "Hey, hope you guys pick a great player."
Maybe he tipped them off and said, "Hey, we're thinking about going Derek Harmon," and the Steelers like, "Click, we're taking him."
Jake,
look at that, man.
We were just saying. I mean, with the defensive tackles that are left here, you're seeing some of the top ones that I'm listing. It almost feels like we're gonna have to pivot to go corner here. What's your thoughts?
I would agree. I know people are pretty high on Tyleek Williams, but that I don't know about that hamstring.
We got two of them.
And also, I mean, he's got great size.
Yeah,
great
love
size.
that.
But I don't know. I think either this safety thing might happen, Brett. I mean, Malachi Stark's still on the board.
I mean, I'm telling you guys.
Where's Matthew Golden's on the board, right?
I think Golden's still there.
Very in play for the Chargers here.
Very in play for the Chargers. They definitely need a receiver. They did sign Mike Williams, though. They lost
Take it back, Mike Williams. Mike Williams and QJ are like clones of each other out there.
Oh,
They got rid of
Chargers, honestly.
They got rid of their elite wide receiver, Josh Palmer.
Could they go Mike Green? You could actually use a little bit of a Bosa replacement.
Could see that. Yeah. Then you got Khalil Mack mentoring him. Like that's another small school guy. University of Buffalo.
You didn't like my joke?
I heard you there, Sean.
You didn't laugh.
I know. It's gonna be 1,000-yard receiver.
It means it wasn't funny, Sean. I don't know if you picked
I
up
thought
on
it
that.
was funny because the Buffalo Bills got him.
Man.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what. I mean, this is around the range, maybe a little bit later. I mean, around 24, 25. If we're going to move up for a guy, let's go get him. So Chargers,
Hey,
you're thinking.
At least if we don't pick someone, Cody's team might pick someone, so we'll have some fun.
We'll double trade out. Both teams just trade out of the first round. We get no picks for anybody on the screen.
Yeah.
How would you feel about Matthew Golden, Cody, for your Texans?
That's in play.
You know,
with what's on the board, actually, I believe he is my next wide receiver in the ranks.
Yeah, be a great gift for you guys
because we do have them off. I I don't see it this year as much. I think it's like a 1-year plug play that they kind of have, because I do think Tank Dell is going to come back in 2026. You've still got Christian Kirk, but obviously I didn't like the Ibuka fit that everybody was trying to make, because I do think that Ibuka and Christian Kirk both play, 70+% in the slot. And I didn't see how those two would fit. I do actually like Golden a good bit more if you were to put those two together for a year. And then once hopefully Tank Dell can get back to form, then you'd have a really good trio there potentially with Nico, with Golden, and with Tank Dell. I would actually like that one a lot more than the Emeka Ibuka who already went off.
That'd be sick, man.
My dad is with you, Brett. He's saying he thought safety.
I never said that I thought safety. I don't know where the story
You
came
just put it out there like, hey,
I
maybe
did
Put it out there.
I put it out there and said, hey, safety could be in play at this position.
That was the first thing. That was the first thing you said. You wanted safety more than anything.
Yeah,
I said
that's
I
what-
wanted
that's
safety.
what I heard.
I said safety. Yeah.
Let's rewind the tape here.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll go back and we'll check after. We'll do our compilation of the draft video.
Absolutely.
It'll start
Yeah.
off with Brett saying safety's the biggest need for the Bills.
So I'm looking at this pick for the Los Angeles Chargers, okay? I'm thinking about it going, listen, Jim Harbaugh was the Michigan man. Is he going to take a cornerback here?
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson's still
That
on the
makes
board.
sense. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Samuel Jr., is gone, and they need a cornerback.
I think that's the pick, Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Will Johnson to get him
I
off.
thought
the
he already
board.
got picked.
No.
No,
Isn't
one's
that
one
crazy?
hanging.
Didn't the Bengals get him?
No.
No, Bengals
No, that
were on
was fake
Shamar
news.
Stewart.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, they said Will Johnson first, and then it was wrong, right?
Yep.
Right now, the Chargers, they signed Dante Jackson. But outside of that, Cam Hart, who I like, Trek, no disrespect to your Notre Dame guy. But I don't know
Or
if he
Shador,
should be your answer.
Shador's not going to be a first round pick.
I think
Some
Shador
team's going to trade in. There's no way.
I think he's going to the Rams to sit behind Matthew Stafford for a couple of years.
Dion said he was going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Well, Dion also just retired his jersey, so
Yeah, yeah, right.
Not anybody that won that from the national championship Colorado team never got their jersey retired, but 13 and 12, Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders did.
Listen, Cordell Stewart deserves to have his jersey retired.
Amen, brother. We talked about that the other night. It's like, hey, it's a travesty that your only quarterback to ever win you a natty doesn't have his number retired. Did some good things in the NFL too, by the way.
Mm.
Special player. Punted his last 2 years in the NFL, by the way, a little bit.
That's crazy.
The Ravens. Yep. It was like a couple punts. It wasn't much, but yeah. Pretty funny.
Hey, Matt Barkley's last play in the NFL was a punt.
Isn't that crazy? Wow. Matt Barkley.
Are you guys surprised at any of the picks so far? Or
Will
somebody-
Johnson being
somebody who's
available
fun-
is
yeah.
kind of crazy here. Hey, this is it has to be Will Johnson. Weston's saying Will Johnson, right?
it's the injury slide with him, right?
It's got to be. Yeah.
Nobody else is getting the good medicals back on him. He didn't run or do anything, I believe, in the full process leading up to it. And then people already had speed concerns with him, I think, going into just from watching the tape as well. So I think there's just concern with him that's dropping him all the way down.
Yeah.
until the injury, weren't they saying he was like going to be one of the top corners?
Yeah, coming into year, he was definitely like cornerback 1.
Let's see. Is this confirmed? Anyone have a confirmation on that?
I haven't seen anything, no.
6'2",
Bigger corner, too.
love the size. Yep. Don't know what his 40 is.
Yeah, he
But,
didn't test with anything just because he was, the injury concern. But yeah,
And
Could be
they're
the
milking
most
this thing all the way down.
They sure are.
most pick sixes in Michigan history, I want to say. Will Johnson. I think I remember reading that stat somewhere. Talk about a playmaker.
Pick is in. Sanders to the Lakers, Brett. You watching
Lakers in 5.
he's versatile. He can play football or basketball. too late for the Lakers. Can't make any trades going into playoff time right now.
Hey, they're gonna start Bronny.
Man, what is taking so long? Yeah, you have to wonder.
It could be
I
on
think
the
you
phone
had
with
a trade
someone.
on the board.
I'm a little surprised. There's only what do we have? Do we have one trade or two? We had one.
One trade so far.
Just one. That's surprising
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, I
The
don't
one that-
understand what's taking so long here. Like you said, Weston, and you guys on the show here. I don't know what that's all about.
It's Brandon Bean calling him, wishing him a good
Running
draft.
back,
Running back.
Marion Hampton.
Omari and Hampton.
Wow.
Wow.
That's weird because they had what's his name do really well.
They just
last
signed
year.
Najee Harris too. Well, J.K.
Yeah, and they
Dobbins
signed-
is gone.
Oh, he is. Yeah, and they signed
Yeah.
Harris. Yeah.
Well, they
But they
signed
signed
Harris,
Najee
for-
Harris.
Harris is only there for 1 year though.
So
Yeah.
Harris is a
Wow.
starter though.
Big guy. 6 foot,
You know-
221.
This is
This is a Jim Harbaugh.
a
pick.
Jim Harbaugh pick.
Like-
Yeah, it does make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
You
Or-
look at Jim Harbaugh going back to the 49ers, they always had a running back by committee. And
Yeah,
they had Carlos Hyde back in the day. And
they did.
I want to say that Frank Gore was there with Carlos
Frank Gore.
Hyde for years.
Yeah.
Ubi Dixon was on that team too. I mean, just a running back by committee, and this is exactly what they're looking for. And I mean, it's a good pickup. Don't get me wrong; it's going to be a great compliment for Justin Herbert. Take a little bit of pressure off of him, and then he can utilize the play action for certain situations. But I mean, for me, this is somebody that hopefully he can block because they do need some offensive linemen too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this was the consensus RB2. He obviously comes off the board as RB2. I really wanted to have Caleb Johnson as my RB2, though. I really did. But after the combine and after he tested, I mean, he's a 9.61 RAS guy. We're looking at the 40-yard dash time, 4.48 at the size that he is. Yeah, I mean, everything about this guy is actually it's pretty fantastic. I think there's a little bit of concern. He gets a couple of good pass block reps in, but I have a little bit of more concern there. That UNC offensive line, though, was freaking terrible, and he did really good with it. So I think he can be a 3-down back. I don't know if he will be here. Obviously, you're going to spell him in a little bit with Najee. So we'll see how that split goes into year one. But I do think for the long-term future there and what that offense wants to do, which is just absolutely pound the rock, this makes a lot of sense for him.
It does. Yeah, I'm just looking right now. I mean, available players on the board
Did the Chargers not sign their guy from last year? Who was their main running back?
Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins. Yeah,
he's still free agent right now.
Wow, okay.
Kind of crazy because he
had a nice year for them.
Yeah,
got injured or late in the year for a few games, but man, he was fantastic.
It's been the killer.
Yeah, it's what he always does. I mean, you just keep taking hits, you get injured, and he looks nothing like it whenever he returns. It's the unfortunate. It's how his entire career has gone, unfortunately, for him. He's a good back, but I don't think any team is really going to highly invest into him because you can't trust him to ever stay healthy.
It's so unfortunate, really is. Jessica, I think so. I think there's just a lot that comes with it, and it could help sell tickets. That's the one positive. But at the end of the day, do you want to deal with everything else?
Yeah. What do you think the Packers need here? What's the needs for the Packers?
Well, they're not taking a receiver because they don't take receivers in the first round.
Okay.
Well, apparently they need a number one wide receiver from everything the team
And I
says.
like their core. Yeah, I like the receiving core right now.
Well, they don't pass the ball. They don't put their
That
best
too.
wide receiver, Jaden Reed, on the field because he only runs in 11 personnel.
Yeah.
And so he's not even on the field like 50, 60% of the time. He only gets like 4 targets a game.
Right.
So they kind of need a big outside guy, but the only one that's still left on the board really is Jaden Higgins, and you're not drafting him in the first. So I'm thinking it's corner to replace Jair Alexander. I'd go with Harrison.
I could see that. I could see Mike Green here. They kind of need
With
Ned,
Mike Green
too.
falling, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got Kingsley Enagbari and then Rashawn Gary on the other side, who's a stud. But you need another guy.
What's the issues that have been coming out about Green? Mike Green?
Back in high school, and then one time in college, I believe there was some sexual assault charges that were filed. I don't think anything ever came of them, but obviously, whenever that's anything like that comes up around you, it's not a great situation. So, a lot of NFL teams know a lot more than we do on the situation.
Yeah.
Jessica,
you're right.
Running backs. Yeah.
You know what, though? He's a weird scenario, too, because, like, he's been injured right from the get-go. And he's gotten repetitive chances here, you know, just guy can't stay healthy. But you're right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he was on my fantasy team last year. He was a stud. He was a surprise. Yeah. And then he got hurt, I think, right in the playoffs, and definitely hurt me.
Yeah, what's Big Al in the back there? He's waiting for the Bills to pick.
We're going home. You gotta watch the kids.
Big Al.
He's taking off. He said, I'm going home and watch the pick at home.
Mama Padre going to head home too?
Yeah. Here, I'm going to head off for just a second here, guys.
All right. Basement's not comfortable enough for Big Al in that? Come on. Got to make it more comfortable.
It is. I think my mom's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah, once the kids go to sleep, then the grandparents don't want to stay any longer, and that sucks. They don't want to spend time with him.
Yeah, you're no longer the important one. It's for the grandkids.
Man, I kind of feel that now. Like I'm a new parent, and it's like it's just crazy to me how everybody just wants to see the baby. You're not the center of attention, you know. I was the baby in my family at first and everything, and now like the next generation is in play, and it's like, okay, they don't even care. They're just like, hey, what's up? Yeah, you want a slice of pizza? Here you go. Here's a slice of pizza. Yeah, they don't clean up my act anymore. It's kind of sad.
You getting excited, Cody? We're 2 picks away from the Texans on the board, man.
I have no idea what they're doing anymore. This board is not falling well, to be honest.
No, not favorable for you.
I'm just going to mention something right now. If you have another bad year with CJ Stroud in play, do they decide to go with like a Shador Sanders and just have somebody behind him and just I'm thinking the board might fall that way for you guys.
I mean, even last year, like all the numbers went down, obviously, but you can still see every talent and every fiber in his being that's there for the quarterback. So
no, listen, you have a stud there in CJ Stroud. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say, listen, you know, he's going to have a bad year. Every time when you get into the NFL, the first year you're going to have success because teams aren't preparing for you. Then they start to prepare for you, and then this is when the quarterback starts to learn how to make himself better when teams are preparing for him, and how to, you know, understand the schemes that are out there and adjust to the play of the game. And this is where in this third year, CJ Stroud is going to take another step forward. You saw it with Josh Allen. I mean, Mike, you'll agree with me when I say this. The first year, there's a highlight play after highlight play of him hurtling and doing stuff and making a name for himself. And then the second year, it kind of regressed a little bit. And then he's kind of ascended into this elite quarterback in the NFL. And that's what's going to happen with CJ Stroud. He's one of those talents that's just, you know, somebody that's going to go out there and he's going to do everything in his power to win you games. And this was a little bit of a regression year last year, but he's going to take them to the championship in a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've got a lot there. I do think getting out Bobby Bum Slowick is definitely a help there as well. Even though national media doesn't agree, they all think it's early. Everybody down here is pretty happy about that because there's been some stuff coming out about how he wouldn't even allow CJ to check his own protections whenever he was getting killed back there behind that offensive line that wasn't protecting him last year. And he had no control. And now with Nick Caley coming in from Los Angeles Rams, said he has full control over everything. So I'm excited about what that offense could be. But I agree also on the Jaden Daniels thing. Like, you also have a Cliff Kingsbury offense, which whenever Kyler Murray came into the league was also running extremely rampant, and everybody thought that he was going to be one of the next great quarterbacks. And then it just kind of tapers off and filters down. we'll see if he's better than Kyler to kind of sustain above that.
We got any word yet? It says the pick is in for the
Yeah,
Packers.
I've been. Whoops, I messed up my look on old X. Wow, they did it. It is golden.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Dang.
The Texans got Golden.
No, Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
They got a good receiver core. They got Golden.
Wow.
They got what's his name?
They got Golden, they got Reed, they got Wicks and Dobbs. They
Dobbs
got
and who's the other guy?
and then Christian Watson off the torn
Christian Watson.
ACL.
Yeah.
They got a
stacked up.
ton of wide receiver twos. Yeah, they
They're
really
stacked
do.
up.
For the 450 pass attempts that they throw every year, they got a lot of wide receiver twos to catch them.
That's true.
Wow. Well, if there was a wide receiver, and I didn't want the Bills to take any offense at all in the first round, but this would have been the only one that I would have had he fallen a little bit further. Man, they get a good one here. Speedster.
I'm just glad the Bills are sitting on their hands and having a good
429.
time hanging out together and catching up, shooting the shit.
Jessica, is this your prediction, or is this really happening here? It's just thinking the Vikings will trade to Bills 24 for Bills 30th and Bills 56. Okay, well,
The Vikings they do need to trade because they only have 4 total picks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a
so
bad move.
So they need to trade with someone.
And from I forget which one, but one of the insiders, Rossini or one of them, is saying that the Giants are trying to trade back in right now, obviously, to try to get Jackson Dart. So we'll see. What would the Bills be trading up for right here if they were to make that trade up with the Vikings?
Corner.
Who even knows?
Fire.
I think corner.
Who knows with this regime at this point?
Fire.
No, I think it'd be one of the top. Corner. Amos is still there.
Will Johnson's still
catch
there.
Mike. Mike was about to say the top, and he's like, "This is the corner."
Yeah, exactly. Well, he is one of the top. But he's top 3, top 4. But he wasn't the top guy on the boards. Safety position. So there we go. The Packers, Matthew Golden, they get a good one.
At least he's NFC.
Exactly.
And that was pick 23, right?
That was pick 23. Yep. So we are at the Vikings right now. Will they? People are predicting they need some more draft stock. Are they going to do it?
Need to trade back. Yeah. Do they have any? Would they have any need for? I don't think they would. Would they have any need for a Thibodeau if he was to go in the trade?
Yeah, I don't think they don't have anybody, as a superstar on the D line. Besides,
they got Grenard last year. Who's
Grenard, but I don't think they have anybody opposite of him. So that might be a good.
Let's bring up some Golden stats here.
His pro comparison was Santonio Holmes. And, I mean, he has the speed just like Santonio Holmes, but
my problem with Golden always sits in that everybody's like, every time I hear Golden mentioned is that it's like, oh, he can just really take the top off over the defense because he ran that 4.29. I'm telling you, whenever he ran that combine, I was betting unders on his 40 time all the way down to like 4.47 because I thought he was slow as shit on tape. Like, I just never saw that 4.29 actually appear on the field. And I understand that it's in there somewhere, but whenever you don't see it on tape ever, it kind of is hard to say that that's going to translate up at the NFL level, especially.
Big Al, I hope you're not driving home and getting on the show. didn't Big Al just leave? Here he is.
They live close, but they live close by.
Oh, pick is in from the Vikings, so they're sticking.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Pick is in.
They'll have to use other next year's capital then to trade up or to trade back. I don't know.
All right.
They need
Let's
to
go. Jessica's thinking cornerback. Yeah, I think it's if they're going to make a move here in the first, Jessica, I do believe it's going to be corner. I think. What do you think, Stefan saying another first round miss? Yeah. Uh-oh. What happened here? He took the guy you wanted? Is this what I'm feeling here, Cody?
Oh, it better not be right. The only offensive lineman and offensive guard that's left for the Texans, right in front of them, the Vikings take Donovan Jackson. and they
Oh.
have nobody else left to take for the offensive line unless they want tackle.
Who was it?
Donovan Jackson, offensive guard, Ohio State.
Let's see what
Wow.
I got him. This guy here on the Beast have these guys in the wrong position.
He might be listed as a tackle as well.
Okay, let me see if he's on the tackle. Oh,
Yeah, he actually played
on
tackle, but most think he's going to kick into guard.
yeah, okay.
Oh man, that is
Donovan
brutal.
Jackson, there he is.
You got Brandon Bean, Cody.
Just
That's what we call that in Buffalo.
I guess we're just going to take freaking Josh Simmons off a torn patellar tendon.
This is a great one, man, for them. Donovan Jackson, 6'4", 317, 3-year starter at Ohio State.
Yeah,
Gotta love it.
A
Gotta
lot of
love it
people not
unless
putting
you're
him
the
into
Texans.
first round. A lot of people not even saying he was a first round pick. So offensive line being targeted pretty predominantly here in this draft. It goes all the way up at 24, one pick before the Texans pick.
Did you guys hear the recent prediction that the Eagles are going to go with Malachi Starks?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I've heard some that Todd McShay's been really big on them taking Mason Taylor as the Dallas Goedert replacement at 32.
I'll tell you a guy that I wouldn't mind the Bills taking at 30. Landon Jackson.
No.
Landon Jackson. This guy's going to be a game changer. He's been moving up the boards. Now, I think he's probably a little early there, but I would not hate it whatsoever. I'd actually be celebrating.
We're going to trade. Watch and see. The Giants are going to trade with Buffalo.
Yeah.
We're gonna give the Giants our 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick, and a fourth-round pick to trade back with them for one pick.
What's going to happen is this. Okay. Kayvon Thibodeau is going to come to the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, I'd like that.
Pretty pick.
That sounds like too smart of a idea for us.
It does sound like too smart of an idea. Jeff Dane would love it.
I would take Thibodeau for our first and another second-round pick, plus there's whatever pick they want to give us.
I don't know, Trey. This is I mean, that was at the combine. So they're saying there's a conspiracy.
I have seen the video that he's talking about. There's video out there of some people actually taking like a slow-mo video of him running the 40 and time-lapsing it themselves. And it's definitely not a 4.29. It looks more like a 4.4 whenever those people put the timer on it. But
well, they do run the 40 twice, right? They get to run it twice. So maybe it was the bad one.
Well, to your point, Cody.
Texans are trading out. We got one half of it done. Texans aren't making the pick in the first round.
Oh boy.
Giants are trading up for Jackson Dart.
Oh wow.
They got Jackson Dart.
I don't know if it's Dart yet, but I've heard that they don't like Shadur, so I assume it's Jackson Dart.
This is interesting.
Do you have the compensation yet?
Texans get 34.99 and a future third.
And wait, hold on. You guys didn't give the Giants anything else besides 25?
I haven't seen full. It's only one thing, but it looks like that might be it. Yeah.
Wow, that's really weird because that almost makes so much sense that you wonder why other teams don't do that.
Yeah,
but when our team trades back with people, we give them additional picks to sweeten the deal. So I'm happy that you guys, when someone wants something that you have, you say you give me more, and I'm not going to give you anything else. I like that.
Oh boy.
From Field Yates, Giants have traded pick 34, 25 third-round pick, and a future sixth-round pick to the Rams for 26.
Wow.
Well, no, okay, so it's not for the Texans then. They actually traded into the Rams pick.
Oh, okay. So Texans still on the board.
Why are they just on the board?
Wait, no.
What is Field Yates telling me?
The Giants are on the clock.
Giants are on the clock.
So they moved.
Okay, so Field Yates is throwing me off over here.
Field Yates sucks.
So what's going on now?
Yeah. Confirm Giants have traded with the Texans. Compensation still waiting because the Field Yates thing says they're trading with the Rams for pick 26 instead of the Texans for 25.
Yeah, I see that. It's weird. They had a trade thing pop up for 25.
Yeah.
Huh.
There it is. It's 25 in exchange for 34.99 and a third rounder in 26.
Wow.
That's pretty good, man.
I'll take that haul.
Isn't that crazy, Jake? That they didn't give up any extra picks to have someone trade up.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. Actually, I couldn't.
This is a quarterback? I would assume.
I'm already saying it's Dart, but we'll see.
Has to be a quarterback. There ain't no way.
Yeah.
Totally whiffed on the Packers pick there, saying they're not taking a receiver. I don't know if they just did some reverse psychology there. First receiver taken in the first round since Javon Walker in 2002.
Yep.
It looks like it's Jackson Dart to the Giants here.
Jackson
Jake,
Dart.
why don't you like my bean jokes today? You usually like them.
You know what, Sean? I love them. You're not wrong in anything that you're saying right now. I'm just I'm pushing it down right now.
Come on. We got to have a little fun.
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Cody doesn't get a pick. We're not going to get a pick.
Confirm Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart.
It is. Wow.
Man, Shador's going to be a second round pick. That's crazy.
Do you think a trade, like a Teddy Bridgewater type situation happens where someone trades in like last minute?
And then they take Tyler Shuck over Shooter Sanders?
Oh my gosh. That would be crazy. That
Kyle
would be wild.
McCord.
Yeah, Kyle McCord's going to.
Underrated, dude. He can play.
Yeah, he can play.
Yeah.
He's going to be a guy that's going to sling the ball around. He is very accurate.
Jordan Palmer said so too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I think this kid is something, you know.
As a Q's fan, I love Kyle McCord, but he's not mobile in the least. So,
no, listen, he is accurate though. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, he's a great passer. It's just in today's day NFL, it's hard not to be a mobile quarterback, especially unless you got a superstar offensive line in front of you.
How mobile is Aaron Rodgers?
I like Kyle McCord. I'd love to take him in the 5th or 6th round as a backup.
Yeah,
because we have a great offensive line and he's a good passer. And he beat 3 top 25 teams this year, and including Miami.
I'm trying to think of the quarterback market now. Okay, teams that need a quarterback. So the Giants have solidified it. I know the Steelers do need a quarterback, but I can't think of anybody else that really needs
Steelers, Saints, Browns would be your 3.
Yeah, and the Browns do have they have an early second rounder.
Yeah, the Browns they got the first pick in the second round.
First pick, I was gonna say, yeah. So
then they picked up another one with the trade, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Jacksonville's. Yeah.
So they'll probably pick Shador or one of the guys in the second round.
So this is interesting, right? Mike Green and Jihad Campbell both on the board at pick 30 for the Buffalo Bills. Do you consider? I would consider Mike Green. I would. However, the off the field issues seem to be glaring.
Yeah.
We got to give him a second chance.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like high school and people can change, and
sure.
I know Tyreek Hill hasn't changed. He keeps doing the same stuff he always does, but
he keeps making babies.
But I do think you got, especially with young kids, they can. I've seen it happen where, they might be in a bad spot and then all they need is someone to help them, and then they can turn it around and be great for whatever they're doing.
Weston, I can see that. Shador to the Rams, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, because Stafford doesn't have much long left to play.
Yeah.
Guys, I wouldn't mind an edge guy for the Bills.
That's what I'm saying. Mike Green is on the board, Mike. Like, it's a decision that we can make here.
Yeah.
That'd be a good pick because his name's Mike, just like Mike Thornton.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Green's a good color.
That's a lock to win. That's a winner right there.
And he gets a lot of sacks, so you got three good things right there.
Dude.
Yeah.
So
I'm fine with that.
That's in play for me. 6'3", 251, Mike Green. Oh man.
I'm still saying Malachi Starks. Listen, he is
what?
Starks.
What about Inawari?
Falcons are trading back in.
Uh-oh.
Wait
with
a minute.
We need another quarterback.
Let's go Shador.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yeah,
This could be Mike
Falcons
Green.
just traded back in.
The Falcons
This could
can't
be
get
Mike Green.
Yeah,
actually.
no,
Oh,
yeah, they're
no.
gonna get Imanwari
Or Imawari. Well, Jesse
'Cause
Bates and Imawari. Holy smokes,
because they're not gonna need a quarterback because they just drafted Penix last year.
right. But Mike Green too. I mean, they need an edge.
Yeah, or Mike Green. Yeah,
But they just
Well,
drafted Jalen Walker too. So I don't.
Yeah, they did.
So
Well,
they
maybe not.
traded with the Rams?
Yeah, Rams
and
traded
they
up.
got
Wow.
and they got Sweat. So no, they didn't get Sweat. What's his name?
Leonard Floyd. They
Yeah, I
signed.
think so.
Falcons.
But
Yeah.
maybe they'll probably get an edge or a safety.
Good name here by Trek reviewer Tony Green. You remember him, Mike?
Mhm.
Back in the day, Pro Bowler, good player.
Oh, Mean Joe
Way
Green
back.
too. Can't forget Mean Joe.
Joe
I
Green
think
for the
you-
Steelers.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Mean Joe.
we can call Mean Mike Green.
Pretty Ricky said defense for the Falcons.
This could be Jihad Campbell too. I wouldn't doubt that either. I mean, that's a Raheem Morris.
Anybody have what the compensation was for the Rams?
No.
Wow.
Well, we know the Rams hate having first round picks.
Yeah, they do.
You know what? You know
They
what is
didn't
going to
have
happen? The Ravens are going to take Mike Green. Rick, our good friend on the channel, he said that's who he would love if Green was
Ooh.
the fall to the Ravens, dude.
Can you imagine
Wow.
Kyle Hamilton and Starks or Kyle Hamilton and what's his name?
Imawari, that would be
Imawari?
ridiculous.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, that too.
I'm not messing with the Ravens next year. I'll tell you that.
Nope.
Got compensation. Falcons have traded 46, 242, and a first rounder in 2026
Wow.
Holy
for,
Wow.
for 26 and 101.
Wow.
That seems incredibly
Wow.
rich.
God.
God.
Now,
damn.
Sean, what you were saying about those picks.
Yeah.
Holy
They-
smoke.
Oh.
You must have been hanging out with Brandon Beam too much.
Sheesh.
Wow.
That's crazy, dude.
For what?
I mean, this better be an all-world player, and who that is, I mean,
Pick is in.
wow.
Man.
Yeah,
I was
this is
gonna-
that's a lot.
I was gonna say like wild card. I could see them maybe doing like Burden to replace like Ray McLeod in a slot.
Oh yeah, Luther Burden. It's true.
Yeah.
But
Good point.
I mean, I don't even have a 25 first grade on him, much less a 26 random first.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Someone in a group chat that I have said Shador Sanders is equal to the slide of Bo Callahan in the draft.
Damn.
This is the draft day story.
Well, you already know what's going to happen. If he doesn't get picked in the first round, his dad's going to go on there and be like, he didn't get picked because his name's Sanders.
I
think-
like Deion, but I'll tell you, I think there are things that he does that are distasteful to others, as far as like the NFL GMs. Clearly,
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I think Shador's going to be good, but I don't think I think he probably could have been a first round pick, but his dad Deion's going to make it out to be it's about something else other than his skill, and it's like no, maybe people just didn't want him in the first round.
Well, imagine being an NFL head coach, okay, and your son is Deion Sanders. The legend of Deion Sanders.
yeah.
Everybody's going to think that anytime that things go wrong, that you're going to get fired and they're going to bring in Deion Sanders.
Sure.
That's something that you have to worry about. I mean, who wants all this ego and everything in today's NFL? Back in the day, in the early 2000s, we had the Terrell Owens, the Randy Moss, we had Chad Johnson. Nobody wants the ego anymore on an NFL team, and that's what is the concerning part about Shador Sanders.
I think you need it sometimes, though.
You do need it. Don't get me wrong. You do need it.
To an extent, yeah.
You need it, but you also need somebody that can tone it down. And there's no toning it down when you have Shador Sanders here. Doesn't have the leadership qualities in the NFL. He also doesn't have the ability to command the huddle.
Wow.
And I'm sorry to say that. I'm being harsh on him. Don't get me wrong. But this is a character concern for me with Shador Sanders.
It could be.
Weston saying James Pierce confirmed by Ari Myroff.
It's confirmed, yeah.
To the Falcons.
He's a
Position?
good player, but you're
What
giving
position?
a lot to get there, man. I'm in a deep edge class.
Well, you
No-
know what the Ravens are about to do.
Wow.
Nothing involving 26 should ever include a first next year. Like a
Never.
first next year is what you trade for a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I mean, what a freaking fleece by Les Snead.
that is crazy, man. Yeah, that is wild. Sheesh.
Yeah, they had James,
Trek. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah.
James Pierce and Jalen Walker on the same team.
I know that's
Oh.
kind of filthy at the same time, but also
Apparently, Bean should be able to get a first round pick next year for
right.
whatever pick is on the board.
Well, that's what you would think, but he would want to sweeten the deal even more and then offer even more to do that. So it would just cancel itself out. That's what he likes. He likes to cancel things out. The Chiefs probably called last year and they were like, hey, we'll give you this, and that if you just give us pick 28. He's like, you know what? That sounds really good and all, but we'll give you this and that plus that. And that works for you. Oh, okay, sure.
Remember what Sammy V says, Sean. Stay positive, buddy.
Well, I'm positive.
That's my phrase of the night.
I do
Sean-
love me some Sammy V.
Sean's positive that Brandon Bean's going to screw it up.
Yeah, I'm positive that they're not doing anything right now.
Well, I don't think anyone who's left above them is going to be trading. I don't see that happening. So I think they're sticking there or they're going to move back. I don't see anything moving up.
Maybe the Browns might want to move up to get a fifth-year option on Shador.
Okay, I'm thinking this through. Okay. Just throwing it out there for an idea. Okay, Jake, I want to hear your thoughts, okay? We've heard all off season about James Cook, okay? I know that there's some rumors that the Bills might move James Cook and maybe the Dallas Cowboys.
There's no rumor of that.
Yeah, the Cowboys will pick him up. What are your thoughts on Buffalo taking a first-round running back? Okay. Can you
Starting
imagine?
over.
No.
Starting
No.
over at that point. I don't. Yeah, I'm not here for it, Brett.
You might as well pick a quarterback.
I'm not suggesting you are, but
I'm not suggesting that we're taking it, but I'm just saying if Buffalo pulls it off and Brandon Bean's like, listen, my balls are bigger than yours. I'm going to play the card here, and I'm going to say, look, you're trying to say 15 mil, and your brother's saying 20 mil. We're going to play this card, and we're going to bring in a running back and just say we don't need you anymore. I mean, that would be the biggest.
That'd be crazy, but you're
it'd
right.
It'd be the biggest FU to James Cook.
It definitely would be.
That's almost something like Brandon Bean would do. Something that's not logical.
It's something that's not logical, but that's the way that the game works. And who knows? Maybe Henderson would be a great pick.
He's like trade away our second best offensive player besides lineman because he wants a little bit of money. Let's do that.
So the Falcons go edge here. Wow,
They did.
that's crazy.
Ravens. I mean, they kind of have.
They're
They're
going
in
to
a great
start
spot
or Imanwari or one of the corners or
How does this happen to the Baltimore Ravens every year, man?
Dude,
How? It's so unfair.
I wish Rick was out there because it's fallen just the way he wanted. Mike Green.
or Mike Green, yeah.
But they have
Matabike.
a lot of choices here.
There's a good amount that the Falcons got desperate to try to draft James Pierce over the Baltimore Ravens, who would apparently rumored to take him here from their sources. So I don't know on that one, but I still can't get over that.
The
trade.
Ravens are like, oh, okay, we still got 15 guys.
Yeah,
that
we
like
still got
pick.
5 guys on the board that we're perfectly fine with at this pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
big.
thanks.
Good to see you out there,
Appreciate it.
Brian. Texans moving back 9 spots. Add a pick this year and a pick next year is cool with me.
Yeah, you guys got a really good deal for that.
It was cool until the next team got like 2 times more than we just did.
Yeah, please.
Well, it's not too late. You can trade with, you guys can call Brandon Bean up.
Get back into the first.
Yeah. You get a first next year, first this year. He'll get you
Yeah,
right.
Trey. This is what
Safety.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's gonna be Trey's there.
Starksy. Off the
Here's a
board,
name.
Ravens.
Oh,
Here's the
they
name
took
for you, Trey, though.
they hook who?
Donovan
Malachi Starks.
Ezeraku.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Malachi
wow.
Starks to the Ravens?
Yep, confirmed.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to be filthy again on defense.
Sheesh, that's
Wow.
a hell of a pick for them.
You get him and Hamilton back there.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's crazy.
Disgusting. Great pick.
At least we play them at home.
Jeez.
6'1",
Rick's gotta be-
197. Oh my gosh! Let's look at what he did at the combine. Ran a 4.5 40, vertical jump 33 inches. Oh my goodness! No bench press. Wow.
Good for
All
them.
right.
I'm
Is
happy
that
for them.
Texting Chris and Rick right now, Mike. Unbelievable. How do they do this? How do they always do this, man?
They have to be happy with that.
Oh, yeah.
How could you not?
I mean, although, like I said, I'm curious what Rick thinks because he had Green at his disposal here. But obviously, Green's fallen for a very good reason. Probably more than we already know some stuff.
I do have a name that I actually think the Bills should consider too, and it's someone that we actually haven't even talked about. But I have him soaring up my charts. I took him with the 17th pick to the Bengals in my latest mock. That's Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College. He's a really good edge. 16 sacks, 16 and a half sacks, I think it was this past year, 20 TFLs. I mean, he played in the ACC, high level. He might be best suited as like a 3-4 outside linebacker because he is a little bit on the smaller side. I think he's only like 240 something, but hell of a pass rusher, man. So it's a name to think about. Just want to put that one out there.
Yeah,
I've
I've seen a
again,
lot
Jake,
of
I'm
them
sorry.
Ezeraku up there.
I'm focused on getting this ticker caught up. Who'd you say, Jake?
I said Donovan Ezeraku out of Boston College. Pro comp to Yannick Ngakoue, which, hey, take that all day. But the big knock on him, Mike, would be as far as like a scheme fit goes, people say he might be best suited as like a 3-4 outside linebacker as compared to like a 4-3 defensive end.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, Mike Green to KC, that'd be great.
It does. I could totally see that happening. KC for sure. Weston, if you had that happen.
I get wanting to trade back because I thought about that too, have multiple second round picks, but we already have 10 picks. And if you wanted to, you can use your 5th, 6th, and 7th round picks to trade up. So why not? I don't know why we didn't be aggressive and try to get someone that might be worth something.
Honestly, for the Chiefs, I've seen a lot of best offensive tackle available on the board, and by a lot of people's count, probably the best offensive tackle if he wasn't hurt. I've seen a lot of Josh Simmons. They can bring him back a little bit slower, and we'll see. But
they've been failing at their O-line picks, so
just keep shooting until you hit.
Yeah, but hopefully they keep failing.
Right. Who do you guys?
Sorry, Weston.
That's not going to happen, Trek. I'm able to stay up with this. Come on.
Mike, you're doing a hell of a job on that ticker.
Give a hand for the ticker. Come on.
Please.
Good job, Mike.
You're doing great work. Doing God's work.
Who's
People
up
are
right
going to be
now?
like, people are going to be like,
now with the
Lions are on the board.
Lions.
at 28.
People are going to be like, why is Mike not talking much tonight? He always talks. I'm just trying to keep up with the ticker comments, and everything that's going on.
All right, guys. You got to guess right now. Are we trading back? Yes or no? You got 5 seconds to answer.
Yes.
No.
I think yes. I think we will.
All right, we'll see. 2 yeses.
I think corner is well in play.
Yeah, corner is.
There's a few good people I think left, and I don't see why we need to trade back, but I don't know. I just feel like it's destined for tonight. Cody's team traded back. We're gonna trade back, and the Ravens got an awesome player, and the Chiefs are gonna get an awesome player. So it's just gonna be a great night.
I think they're gonna go emo. So I said, you gave me 5 seconds. I said yes, but I'll stick with that because I said that initially. But I won't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, Ole Miss is my second team, so I guess I'd be kind of happy.
Unconfirmed Mike Green is the pick here.
Well, that's a good.
I mean, that's a great pick. As an edge, you go ahead, you get him and Aiden Hutchinson.
Well, they still have what's his name though that they traded for midseason from the Packers or from the Browns. Zadarius Smith. So he might have to go to a backup role.
Is he still with them, or is he a free agent? I thought Zadarius.
Oh, that's right. Maybe.
Yeah, no.
They do have Marcus Davenport.
Marcus Davenport is their other DN right now.
Ooh, that'd be Mike Green and Aiden
good.
Hutchinson coming at you. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, actually. Jeepers. Wow.
Wow, great pick there. If that is Green, if that is confirmed.
Oh, Weston's saying nope.
Nope.
Lions pick Will Johnson. Wow.
We'll have to
Damn.
see here.
So that
We'll have to
cornerback
see.
room would be filthy.
Either way on that, I wouldn't be mad about either way
Unreal.
they go there.
Yeah.
Will Johnson's still on the board, guys. What are we talking about here?
The knee injury, people just scared off of it.
If he's at 30, though, I think I'm running to the podium.
I mean, if you can handle a little bit of the bounce back, I mean, or a little bit of time to acclimate, and you can. I mean, I think everybody here would probably say it's Will Johnson over Trey Amos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Trey White at the end of the year didn't look too bad for the Baltimore Ravens. He looked horrible with the Rams, but didn't look too bad for the Baltimore Ravens. So, I mean, it would be a good pick, but somebody that's not going to be a starter, is that something that concerns you, Jake?
Yeah, it definitely would. Absolutely, it would. I mean, it's
Waiting for confirmation here.
yeah, I'm trying to look to see if there's anything out there. I mean, Weston's usually pretty good with his sources, so
I would love
they
to know
did
how
just
many times
draft Tyrion Arnold. They signed DJ Reed though, so I feel like Edge would be a better. But I guess hey, can't go wrong either way.
My first client tomorrow is a Raiders fan, so we'll get to talk about Genti at least, even though if we don't pick anybody.
Wow.
Well, the pick is in.
Talk about Jamarcus Russell.
Oh no,
Yeah.
completely off the board. Tyleek Williams.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Is this
Really?
confirmed? Wow.
Glad they
thing
took him in.
I don't know. We got to wait. This is the third player we've said.
Yeah,
now.
that's confirmed.
That's
Fully
It
confirmed.
is.
Good thing we let all the promising D tackles go.
Oh man.
I'll tell you what, man. Will Johnson, I would definitely take him if he's at 30. Yes.
I mean, unless the medicals are just that bad.
Yeah, which they could be.
But we could have had a healthy, great, big defensive tackle.
Oh, this
I know.
guy's massive. Oh,
What about Maxwell Hairston, Ed?
I like Mad Max. He's
Can
been
he play
growing on me.
Can he play D tackle?
Well, Sean, given his size, it's on the
As long
side.
as
he's
he got-
undersized. He's
As
undersized.
long as he's got the
Good.
heart, that's all I want. I just want heart at this point.
Heart, huh?
Ah,
There's a
the
lot of
speed.
guys with heart, Sean.
He'll have the speed.
yeah.
He'll have the best defensive tackle get off in the league.
All right, so we think that's confirmed. 100%.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, guys, hang in there.
I know. I mean, yeah, I guess that need. I don't know. I mean,
We're seeing on a couple of guys now. I mean, Jahad Campbell's typically off at
Yeah,
minimum
Jahad
by
Campbell's
the Tampa Bay Bucks pick. We see Will Johnson. We've got Josh Simmons still on the board as well. Mike Green with his personal concerns. Like a lot of these guys are just dropping that have the background kind of just questionable information.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way about the questionable, like, personal stuff. Laramie Tunsil, he was the best tackle in the draft, and someone posted a picture of him in the gas mask with the smoking the bong, and then he fell all the way to the Dolphins.
Lyle Collins.
And he was one of the best, for a while. So,
Yeah.
That's why
I just
Dan
feel-
Marino fell back in the
Yeah.
day.
I mean, which honestly, on that one with the gas mask, I mean, by all accounts, in my opinion, I would just say that is a great. I mean, you have a great breathing technique. You have a lot of lung capacity, and you are a very
Exactly.
good athlete. That's what I would take from that one.
Yeah.
exactly.
Listen, it's legal in today's NFL. You can smoke weed.
Yeah. Well, this was like 10 years
Oh
ago.
yeah, I mean, it definitely shouldn't have been taken like that then.
Yeah, it was like when Josh Allen got drafted, all these tweets came out from like when he was like 15, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you said some questionable stuff," and he's like, "Yeah, well, that's not me anymore." And you can't judge people off of one thing, or unless you like beating a woman, and then you can judge them, I think. But like Tyreek Hill did, and he continues to do it still.
So you guys like
You know
the pick
what?
here?
You know what? He's good enough. He's a good enough NFL player to keep doing it, and the NFL
Yeah,
doesn't care.
you see what he just did recently? He hung his kid over a balcony.
Allegedly, that's a rough video. Maybe.
Well, I believe
I
it.
won't. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not saying I don't believe it.
He's just I hate saying I hate people, but he just does too many things where I'm just like, you don't deserve to be playing football. You deserve to be in trouble somewhere, in jail or something.
Let's see. Trek saying, I think Deion Walker and Jordan Phillips are destined for Buffalo. Those are later round guys, right? Later round.
Yeah.
Like fourth,
Third, fourth round picks.
third, fourth.
Hey, Trek, I'm just, it's first round. I'm focused on that right now. Tell me, who we taking here? We got to pick in the next, we got one pick ahead of us here. On the clock, Commanders.
The pro comparison for Will Johnson is Trayvon Diggs. I mean,
great.
I like that.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's a big upside for a number two.
Definitely.
I half like that because he had the most picks, but he gave up 1,200 receiving yards.
Yeah, it's true.
In 1 year. So I kind of like that.
I mean, I've been thinking about this for a while, guys, and I mean, the revolving door at the number 2 cornerback position can be solidified for years to come if you pick Will Johnson here.
I wouldn't mind it. Seems like a good option.
Looks like we're on the clock now, guys.
Pick is in for Commanders. They are sticking.
Okay.
We're on the clock.
I don't know if I take a risk with what was the injury that he had?
What's that for Will Johnson?
Yeah.
Knee.
He had a knee injury, and then he also had a hamstring issue at the combine, and then he did not test or he did not perform well at his pro day either, really.
Yeah.
So it's been a litter of things for him.
Unconfirmed Josh Connerly.
Wow. Tackle out of Oregon?
Yeah.
Wow.
They solidified their tackles now with Tunsil and him.
Very interesting.
Unconfirmed on that one, but
we'll wait for the confirmation.
I had him as more of a mid-second rounder. But
I thought he was in conversation for the Texans all the way up at 25 if they actually wanted to tackle and they didn't want Simmons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to announce the Bills pick or no, Cody?
As soon as it comes up,
I love it, baby.
Any pick that comes up, I would love to know how many times I have scrolled on this little mouse wheel here of just refreshing latest. I type in the team name, so I'm just on like Commander's pick, and anything that comes up on latest, I just sit here and scroll constantly up and down, up and down. I've got to be in the thousands tonight over this 3 hours and 16 minutes that we've been live. Confirmed, Josh Connerly.
Wow.
Okay. Now in a few seconds, we're gonna see the Bills are trading back with Kansas City.
Back to Kansas City. You're saying he's an offensive tackle?
Offensive tackle out of Oregon.
There he is.
Yeah.
6'5", 311.
Oh boy, Cody.
No, I'm sorry. If anybody's seen the Shadur tweet from today, he said he tweeted out earlier, like a couple hours before the draft. He said, "I'm built for whatever today may bring." And apparently somebody just quote tweeted it and said, "What about tomorrow?"
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That's tough, man.
That's
Yikes.
hilarious.
Yikes.
He probably laughed at that. That's a good one.
That's solid.
It is pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that's a great one. How about tomorrow?
All right, what do you guys think about this pick?
It's gonna be
I think Will Johnson.
No,
I know the medicals are. Oh, Josh Connerly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm already. Connerly, yeah, he's intriguing. I think he's raw. But yeah, I've seen him in the first round. I've seen him mocked in the first round to several teams. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know, you solidify your tackle position there. So, sure.
All right. All eyes on the Buffalo Bills, boys. This is it. It's what we've been waiting for.
Man.
You know it's going to be Trey Amos. I've seen so many people.
My heart is racing.
You even mocked him one time, Jake. Trey Amos.
Who's that?
Trey Amos.
Amos? I like Amos.
Yeah.
I do like Amos. He's a good fit for the scheme, but when you have Will Johnson on the board. Oh boy, Brett. I don't like what
It's
you're
tough.
doing.
Is
there.
there
got some
any
inside
thought-
information?
I don't like what you're doing.
I'm not
there,
saying
brother.
anything.
I do not like what you're doing.
I already know.
Mike Green would be a great
I already
steal.
know.
I agree, Rick.
Let's see. Somebody's coming in. Somebody
Everyone's
trade him
coming
back.
in the comments.
Man,
Is there any
Man,
thought
Mike
to the other
Green, there's
two
Rick.
haulers for Mike Green or Jihad Campbell?
Buffalo's on the clock. Rick, were you happy with your pick, sir? Were you happy with who the Ravens took? I know you said Mike Green. He fell to you, but were you happy?
Oh no,
You guys got a great one, Rick.
Oh no! Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I think Twitter might have just broke.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh, what did we do?
I've scrolled too many times, boys.
Oh,
I
okay.
overloaded it.
Oh,
The Buffalo broke Twitter.
Pretty terrified right now, to be
Rick
honest with you.
saying Mike Green. Yeah, I would love Mike Green. I would love an edge. We did say edge.
Yeah, Green as Araku, Will Johnson. I mean, I know the medicals are scaring some people, but he was mocked as a top 10 pick at one point here, you know?
Saying no confirmed by ESPN. He already got drafted. Who are we talking about, Weston? Yeah, Rick's very happy. I'll always take a UGA defender.
I don't know if my pick is true.
Yeah, with Hamilton, that's going to be just crazy, Rick. It's
Yeah.
not fair. Not fair at all.
I'm showing Hairston.
What's that?
I'm showing Maxwell Hairston.
Hairston, huh? Mad
That's
Max?
Not surprised.
Actually,
Like the best
Hey.
corner.
You know what? Ian called it. That was Ian's.
It was.
Pick.
It's not Hairston.
He's a hell of an athlete. He has grown on me. I do like Maxwell Hairston. I think just given the situation, though, with Will Johnson on the board.
Yeah, if Will Johnson's the best corner and we don't take him, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
I actually do have a confirmed source.
Maxwell Hairston.
I'm not
comes
going to
with
believe
Tywan
you.
Jones.
I'm not.
No, I'm actually confirming it right now.
I'm not going to believe it.
I'm not believing it.
I
I
have-
hear this one.
Confirmed that it is Will Johnson.
Yep, I have it as well. Will Johnson.
Yep.
What a pick, boys! What a pick!
Wow.
What a pick!
Wait
Come
a
on.
minute, though. I never heard you say Will Johnson at all in any mocks. Was he not
Never
there?
saw
Should have been
Be here.
gone.
Didn't even think it was an option, Mike. I wrote that off. I had him going 13 to the Finns in my latest mock.
Wow.
Wow.
I know the injuries. I'm all right with it. There's a reason why you signed Dane Jackson and Trey White. Have some
Well,
serviceable
at least-
guys in there.
At least we picked the best corner that's there.
That's a great pick.
Great pick.
I'm actually shocked.
I have two sources confirming that the Bills have selected Will Johnson.
All right.
What if
Welcome to the Buffalo Bills, Will Johnson. I'm going to be excited about this. Look, we got that number 2. Let's see. Trey, you like it? Trey likes it.
6'2" cornerback for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, that's
What if
just,
he pulls an Eli
Good pick,
Manning?
man. It's a good
What if he
pick.
pulls an Eli Manning and says, "I don't want to play for Buffalo. I want to play for Kansas City"?
It's just
Oh,
doom and
that's
gloom
not-
over here from the little logo up in the left corner.
Yeah, look at that.
All right. Buffalo
Yeah,
Bills.
I like that he
It's great.
Dude.
picked
Great
the
pick.
best one there.
6'2".
Yeah.
I love the size. What I don't know, maybe you guys know before the injury, he's speedster. What type of 40?
He was the best. He was the best corner in the draft. They were saying before he got hurt, right?
Yeah, that's all you got to know. It's
Okay.
a great thing, Mike.
All right.
Now we can rest him up, and hell, if it takes till week 6 to get him in the game, as long as he's rested up, then by the time playoffs come around, he'll be ready to go.
Bills. All right.
You guys better buy lottery tickets or something, or check if the moon's full.
Will Johnson out of Michigan.
Nice, that's a good one. I like
We're
that.
back.
My phone's blowing up.
Championship
People are pretty
caliber
fired up.
program.
That's a great pick, man. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Well done. Not the position I wanted, but didn't think this was going to be an option. So the
Yeah.
fact
Right,
that
okay.
This is a great
you
pick.
get a guy like this,
Great
That's
pick.
what I was saying earlier. If we couldn't get D tackle, at least we got to pick the best of the positions that are there on a corner or edge, and I think we got a good one there.
landed
When
a
you-
great one.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is Super Bowl caliber defense that
Okay,
in the
Sean Carter.
making.
Okay, Brett.
In the making. Okay.
Yeah.
If we get some interior defensive linemen, this is going to be a stud defense.
Can we go Alfred Collins, Savion Williams
Sure.
round 2?
Listen,
Sure.
I'm just saying with Larry Ogunjobi and Michael Hoyt in there, I mean, yeah,
I forgot they even exist.
Yeah. If they stay healthy, man, I'm telling you, this defense is going to be good. We have some depth now. I'm liking the moves so far. I mean, this is a great offseason for Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. And if they become aggressive, I mean, man, sky's the limit right now. I like the moves that we're making this offseason. I think that this is a team that can compete with a lot of different teams out there. And
interesting. So he's comfortable in both press and off coverage. My only concern would be the injuries, and then what they say here after an All-America sophomore season included defensive MVP honors in the national title game. He put up and down play on his early 2024 tape before missing most of the final season with the injuries. I'm curious, how many games did he miss? Anyone know?
Whoa.
What's wrong? What happened?
What? Did I miss?
Chiefs and Eagles traded picks.
Did I just come back to Maxwell Harrison being the pick instead of Will Johnson?
Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. What's happening here?
It's Maxwell Harrison.
It is Maxwell Harrison.
Whoa.
Where do we get that?
What the heck is happening here?
Absolutely 360 everything. It's Maxwell Harrison confirmed.
Well, so all those good things you were saying, guys, take it back. Okay, so this is who Ian picked.
God.
Let's go back to our guy here. Let's talk about him.
Sean. Well,
and Eagles and Chiefs just made a 1-pick swap trade.
So Jake, let's talk about this now. I mean, man,
I
feel like now.
Okay, 6 foot is very generous for this guy. 183. 428. He's a speedster. I like that. Come on, why does that faces here? Let's go, Jake. This is
Brett, your
Ian.
initial source was correct.
Yeah.
Ian
liked him, Jake. Ian drafted him the other night.
Yeah, no, maybe I'm a little disappointed just because Will Johnson was on the board.
Medicals just have to be so bad. Yeah.
They have to be.
Listen, I apologize, guys. I mean, listen, Trey Williams is mad at me and wrecked, thanks, Brett, and your 2 sources. I get it. Listen, I'm sorry. I'm going off of what Twitter is telling me, and I had 2, sources that were high-end sources for the Buffalo Bills saying that the Bills got Will Johnson. So I apologize for that. I mean,
what did you, Rick? We've had a couple mishits this draft, maybe 2, but what happens? We get to the Bills, you're expecting us to be on point, and we give you bad information. So we went from excited. I don't know. I'm okay. I mean,
Mad Max. Hey,
Mad Max. Jake,
this is
told
great
me.
Because my daughter's name is Maxwell. We're gonna get her a jersey.
And Rick,
you know what I mean?
Didn't draft a Michigan guy, so we should be good, right? You told us the Michigan guys will suck. So there you go. You put it out there.
Trek saying, Buffalo went to KU. Who's next? Deion Walker. Yeah, Kentucky. Keep the Kentucky train going.
All
you know who else played at Kentucky? Stevie Johnson.
Right, 7th round pick.
Well,
welcome to the team,
I don't hate
Maxwell
the pick.
Harrison.
I don't hate that pick. Sean's going to be in chamber. I think.
Did he jump off after that? Oh my goodness! He probably broke a couch, broke a table.
He's still on here.
Yeah.
What were you?
He's still on here. He just isn't added in.
Oh, he isn't added, but I don't know why.
Where have you been?
I went back. My thing cut out, and then I was backstage, and Mike didn't let me up. But I heard everything.
I thought you had been upset and jumped off.
And isn't somebody watching the TV feed? So how do we not know who's coming up to the TV?
TV feed's like 2 minutes delayed for me for whatever reason compared to
the TV is always a little behind, so we're getting
right.
That's
I I hate to say I'm always correct about Brandon Bean, but we didn't take the best corner. We took this other guy. So
I mean,
just
the
like I
medicals
figured,
just
but
had to be bad, right? Do you think the
no,
Eagles are
it's
going Mike Green here?
the Chiefs are going to get that's the guy that we thought we could get.
The
At this
Eagles and
point-
Chiefs did swap picks.
Why didn't-
and Eagles pick is Jihad Campbell.
Wow. That's filthy.
Why wouldn't we have just picked Mike Green at that point if you're not going to pick Will Johnson? Nobody's injury is that bad that everybody recovers, except Alex Smith. Even Nick Chubb, he fully blew out his knee, the same knee twice, and he still comes back.
All right. Well, hold on a sec, Sean. I want you to look at your Buffalo Bill right there, Maxwell Hairston. Be happy. Welcome,
No, I don't want to look at
welcome
that
to
guy.
the team, man. Welcome him to the team.
I'm glad
Let's
Trey
go.
White's now Trey White can be the starter now. I'm fine with that now.
All right. So, who did the Eagles take, and what position was it?
Jihad Campbell, linebacker.
Linebacker. All right. Let's go. Let's go take a look at him.
Apparently, they tried to trade up with the Packers to select him there, and they've been trying to trade back in for Jihad Campbell since. Now they get their guy.
We could have traded with them.
All right, here. So I'm very interested in the Chiefs, what they're going to do here.
Last pick of the night, yo.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
What a buzzkill.
Wait.
What a ass chapper.
That's my stories. I'm sorry, but he pissed me off.
No, it's not your side. It's not that their fault for breaking the news. It's Brandon Bean's fault for picking them.
My source doesn't know anything. I'm sorry.
What do you?
I saw it as well. Everything was saying it was Will Johnson.
All right, Mike. So humor everybody and just read us off his measurables and all of his,
Our
whatever
guy,
he's got.
cornerback, the guy we pick.
Oh, you'll
Yeah,
love them. I mean, not the size
unfortunately.
per se, but the testing. I mean, ran 4.28, 39.5-inch vertical, 10'9" broad.
So according
Really
to
good athlete.
according to the Athletic, their beast guide, Maxwell Hairston, was the number 4 overall cornerback. He's 5'11" and a half. They're giving him a nice, he wore some high cleats and they got him at 6 feet, 183 pounds. Let me see. He did partake in the combine, 4.28, Sean. So yeah, there's a guy that can, somebody said, can keep an eye on Rashee Rice.
It'll be perfect. It'll be perfect when he plays off coverage 15 yards off the receiver.
Yeah, right. Vertical jump, 39 and a half. I mean, he's faster than Kyer was. And let's see, let me read some stuff for you. 2-year starter at Kentucky, Hairston was the field cornerback in defensive coordinator Brad White's scheme with a balanced mix of man and zone. He put himself on the NFL radar with a SEC best 5 interceptions in 2023 and tied the school record with 3 career pick sixes. A fluid mover with A+ speed, Hairston moves fairly effortlessly in all areas of the field. He plays to his help in man-to-man coverage while also showing conviction and awareness in cover 3. He is a natural making plays at the catch point, but he's also more scrappy than strong. Will show against physical NFL receivers and in run support. Overall, Hairston is a competitive, lanky athlete who feels routes, developing them around him, and plays with the reactionary movements and ball skills to fit a variety of coverages. What don't you like about that? I'm getting excited again.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you lanky but 5'11"?
Like I said, and to finish this, if he makes the necessary improvements as a tackler, he has the talent to become a capable NFL starter early in his career. He better be. We need it.
Well, he can't tackle, so that's great.
I know you don't like that, but maybe he just hasn't had to do a lot of tackling. I'd like to see his PFF scores.
Well, welcome to the Buffalo Bills.
Welcome to the Buffalo Bills.
Sorry, Brandon Bean picked you instead of the good guy.
I love his when he was talking, he's like, I'm gonna get Josh Allen the ball back in his when they just interviewed him. He's at the draft too, by the way. So that's kind of cool.
Well, you better give him the ball back. That's gotta be hard to do when you're
I like this kid. I do like him. I think I'm just a little disappointed, obviously, because of the Will Johnson thing, getting excited about that. But at the same time, maybe the medicals really are that bad. I mean, there's a reason the other teams didn't take him either. He's projected a top 15 pick, and yeah.
I mean, Jessica makes a good point here, Sean. White couldn't tackle either. So
Well, I know that's and we brought him back too.
I know, but you were a fan of his.
Not when he stunk.
Well, of course, after he got hurt.
Yeah, I'm a fan of him as a person, but I haven't liked him as a football player in 3 years.
Cody, did you magically change into a Texans jersey, or are you still wearing your
No. We're
your
still
blues? Okay, I saw the
still
hat
the-
come on. I thought
the
maybe
hat's
it
just-
swapped
To
out there.
Jessica's point, we don't really have anybody that can tackle, so that's unfortunate.
So the Chiefs, here we go. Weston saying Luther Burden, wide receiver, right?
Yep.
Receiver?
Yep.
Yeah.
wide receiver Missouri.
Let's take a look at him. See what he looks like here, if this is the pick. Again, we're waiting. We're waiting. Pick is not in yet. Burden was considered the number 3 overall receiver. Where'd you have him in your rankings, Cody?
He was number 5 for me,
Okay.
including Hunter.
All right. So he's 6 foot, 206. Let's see what type of 40 he runs. 4.41. Above average foot speed for a 206 pounder. Dangerous with ball in hands and runs with physical and contact balance of a running back. Well, what the heck? I know. Give us your thoughts, Cody, because I know you did a lot of film watch on Burden. So if the Chiefs were to take him, you think this is a good pick?
I don't exactly see the fit because I think a lot of their guys play out of the slot. Obviously, with all of Kelsey, Worthy, Rice, I think all of them kind of play a little bit more out of the slot. You can move everybody around a little bit, right? But I think Burden is a little bit more confined to that role. I don't really like the fit for the Chiefs personally to take him here. I think they would want more of like a Elike Manor or Jaden Higgins to really be an outside X type of guy who they were hoping like DeAndre Hopkins would be. So I would like somebody more big and outside. His 2024 season, he doesn't really have the stats, but that Missouri offense with Brady Cook at quarterback was really just bad. Apparently, the teams were asking for tape on him, like practice tape, because his route tree on the field in games was just so limited because of what the offense could do. I had him as a 2nd-round pick, though. So I would think that they would honestly almost try to take, like, I think they'd be more inclined to take a running back like Travion Henderson here at the last pick of the 1st round than they would be to take a wide receiver.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. That's an Andy Reid type of pick.
Poor Trey. He's feeling it too. He's like, oh, he was so excited. Brandon Bean, yeah, great job. Get in. The other gentleman.
But no,
we had.
Pick is in, and it is exactly what I said at the I said it a little while ago. It is the potential of coming off the injury of the patellar tendon O-line Josh Simmons to see if he can fill in at left tackle eventually.
Yeah, that's a good pick, actually. I think Weston would be pretty happy with that. Not bad.
That's a tackle?
Yes, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
Josh Simmons from Ohio State, 6'4", 317. Yep, they definitely needed, obviously, what you watched the Super Bowl, everyone saw it again. You know, this happened to them last time, right? They went to Super Bowl, got beat by the Bucs pretty bad. They revamped the old line, and boom. I think didn't they go back to the Super Bowl that year, or did it take them another year to get back?
They went and they won.
Okay, so after the Bucs lost, they revamp, go right back and win it. So here we go
They
again.
won it twice, and they lost.
Wow, let me update the ticker here. The final update on the ticker.
Boys, we did it. Honestly, not bad. 11:41 p.m. Decent.
Let's see here.
Cody, who are the Texans taking, man, in the 2nd round?
I don't know. They'll probably trade back again.
They just keep trading back.
They'll just trade back all their picks until the draft's over.
I mean, I actually don't mind it. It's just the fact that the next team right after has got a freaking first for trading back after.
That is annoying.
I mean,
they'll have 32 7th-round picks, so let's keep trading.
The unrealized capital that you just passed on there because you didn't call the right team apparently is just a little bit frustrating. But no, I mean we'll see. Unfortunately, I just ended my PFF mock draft simulator, so I don't get to see the rest of the board about what's available and what the needs are. Yeah, you don't have Donovan Jackson anymore, who could potentially, or we thought could potentially go to the 2nd round. So I'm interested to see what they do. They might go interior defensive line. That's a little bit of a need. They could go like a Darius Alexander type of pick. You could go with another wide receiver who they've been mocked to a little bit as well. But offensive line, it's just going to be the replacements. Figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to go lay down, guys. So I'll just say my final thought. I'm not upset about the position. I think we needed it. It was one of the needs. It wasn't my number one. I was more happy when I thought we picked the better corner. But, this guy's got some talent. Obviously Kentucky's SEC, so that's good ball, but, they didn't play well against SEC teams. But he produced, so I guess that has to say something. And, Trey said, per the scouting report, isn't track ball as well. So hopefully he can do that. It's hard when you're 5'11" and you're already at a height disadvantage. So hopefully he can learn to track balls and keep up with his speed. But I guess it's better than last year. And I had a
not
good
enthusiastic at all.
I had a good time.
First round.
I had a good time. I love spending time with you guys. It was good. And yeah, we'll be oh yeah, and I'll announce it now. I guess mine as well. I'm taking a pause on my personal channel this year, and I'm moving my O-line film to Nickel City Mafia. We're gonna try to keep ramping up and getting them above and beyond their subscriber count. I just can't, with my business growing, I can't dedicate the amount of time to my personal YouTube that I would like to. So I'm still gonna do what I normally do, just on your guys' channel where I'm not in control of anything. It's just I do the video and then it's out, and then I'm not deleting the account. It's just probably going to take a break for a couple months, and maybe by the end of the year I'll put out some videos on my channel. But we got a lot going on, a lot of big new clients, so it's been a little busy. So it's a good thing. But so I'll be
Hell yeah.
100% on Nickel City Mafia. My channel will be existing, but it'll be taking a pause, a little
All right,
vacation.
Well, Sean, congrats on the work. And yes, happy to have you. And I just got to ask you real quick.
Sure.
Like it, hate it for our pick. Where are you at? Where's the meter at? Love it,
Like it or hate it?
Love it, like it, or hate it?
Love it, like it, or hate it? I guess I had to say like it because, like I said, it's a position of need. I guess it wasn't the best one, but could be worse.
Yep. All right, man. Have a good night.
All right.
Hey, man, take care. Thank you, Sean.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Love
Let's
you
go to
guys
you,
too.
Brett. What do you think?
Take
Love
care.
it, like it, or hate it with our pick with Maxwell Hairston and Rick. You're right. He said, Jake, it's only 8:41 p.m. Got a full night of drinking and whiskey ahead of me. It's one good thing about being on the West Coast for draft night. I mean, it is literally 8:45. That's it. You guys, 11:45. Mike Green, yeah, I think somebody's going to get a steal here in a second. But all right, Brett, back to you. Love it, like it, hate it. Maxwell Hairston.
I mean, I'm at about a little more than a neutral position. I'm going to say 3/4 of a tank on Maxwell Hairston. I think for me, I was kind of disappointed because I did want Will Johnson there, but I mean, that's kind of bummed me out a little bit. But the 4.28 speed is what intrigues me about him. He's got great closing speed too, but he's just undersized. That's what concerns me a little bit, but I think that this is a long-term solution for the Buffalo Bills for, the cornerback position, which is something that I think we needed to address. And hopefully we can maximize some defensive tackles in the second and third round and find some guys here. But for me, it's a good overall start in the draft. Just think that there's some good players on the board still. And Will Johnson, maybe we pick him up. And if he slides even further, we trade up and we pick him up. But there's a lot of guys that I'm surprised that are still on the board too.
Yeah, I'm going to fall in the like it camp. I am concerned. Somebody said, was it his tackling ability? Where did I see? I think it was in what they put up here. Rasul Douglas was a great tackler, a bigger dude. He's still out there, by the way. Maybe the Bills figure out a number that works for him. But I like it. I've seen him mocked. It's not a surprise to me. I saw Amos. I saw Hairston. I didn't see Williams. I'm sorry, was it Will Johnson, right? Was the guy we thought we had. So I'm liking it. I'm okay. Welcome to the team. Let's go. And we look forward to day 2 and getting some of these bigger upfront D tackles, I hope, or edge. Cody, man, thank you for joining us tonight. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Maxwell Hairston.
I like Max. I think it was just a little bit, I can understand the disappointment after you think you're going to get Will Johnson. Yeah. Obviously, the medicals can't be right. And so with that in mind, I kind of actually, I'm in between like a like and love for the Bills and what they needed. Because if all 32 teams passed, or at least the ones that made picks in the first round passed, it can't be right. So yeah. At least the Bills are getting the same information as the rest of the league, it seems, at this point, if he's falling that far. So good on them for doing that. And then, I mean, it was probably the next best cornerback on the board. I had Max in my mock all the way up at the 26th pick, I believe, with the Rams. So a little bit of a value pick if you were actually going off of that mock, and a lot of the mocks that were going off here in the last 24 hours from all the reputable sources. So I like the pick. He's a speedy, fast guy. Obviously, I think he had 6 picks and 3 of them returned for touchdowns on the other side. So we'll see. Ball playing skills. It sounds like a really good thing. So we'll see if he fits in. And I like it for where it is. I can understand the disappointment, but with everything that just happened over the first round, the Will Johnson thing just couldn't have happened, and everybody else agreed, it appears.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We got 2 people out there, Jessica and Gerard, saying they've got to get Collins. So Collins on the defensive tackle here, big guy, 6'6", 332 out of Texas. Like that a lot. And then the other guy they were saying is another defensive tackle that Jessica would like is, would you say, Farmer. So Farmer is down here, Joshua Farmer out of Florida State, 6'3", 305. So I'm good with both of those. I'd love us to go double up on DTs tomorrow, but we'll see who we get. Jake, what's going on out there, buddy?
I don't know what's going on with my audio, but it just keeps cutting. At first, I suspected maybe it was my AirPods were dying out, but something weird. So I just dialed back in on my phone here. But I'll give you my final thoughts, and I'm probably going to hop off here because I hear the big boy crying up there. He's teething pretty bad. But, no, I mean, there's some dogs still left on the board. I mean, we talked about the defensive line class being extremely good this year. And, I mean, there's some really good edge players. There's some really good D tackles still left on the board. Jordan Farmer, as you guys were talking about. I mean, there's some good players, man. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Curious to see what it brings. And I appreciate you guys, staying on for as long as you did. It was awesome. Cody, you've been great. Brett, phenomenal. Mike, great job on that ticker. And also amazing job hosting, as always.
That was my job tonight.
So, Mike, here's the question. Are you going live tomorrow night?
I'm debating. I don't know if I was going to. It depended if we were going to fall back into round 2. And since we're not teaming up with the Fins forecast, not sure. Might just watch it from afar. And you know what? I got my eyes on. I love a D tackle, but I'm still Landon Jackson. Let me take him late second round.
Look, your boy. Yeah.
Get him at edge and get one of your D tackles, and we're good. We got our corner, DT, and edge. Fantastic. Good to go.
I'm kind of intrigued to go live tomorrow. I mean, why not? Right?
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Give it a go, Brett.
It's definitely an option. All right, guys. We're going to end it here. I want to thank everyone out in the channel for staying out here with us. It's a lot of fun. And again, we needed a corner. We got a corner. And we got a good one. So looking forward to what tomorrow brings. And Rick, thank you with your pick there for pairing up Hamilton with Malachi Starks. Oh my goodness, that's going to be nasty.
Crazy.
I think we play Baltimore and Buffalo during the regular season, so we're going to need that home field advantage. Anyway, Cody, thank you so much. Great as always. Brett, good to see you. Great as always. And Jake, fantastic as always. Everyone have a good night. Let's go, Buffalo. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Let's see. Let's turn off that outro.